firearms, it's your responsibility to make sure they're always stored safely. Hiding them in a closet or drawer is not enough. Kids know where they are. Research shows the risk of injury and death is lower if guns are stored unloaded and locked up, with the ammunition locked in a separate place. This is important when children are young, as well as when they grow into teenagers. For more, talk with your pediatrician or visit healthychildren.org.
Work on the missile launchers, decreasing the missile capability of Iran by about 80% at this point.
Officials with one of the armed Kurdish Iranian dissident groups based in Iraq say they're not planning an imminent cross-border attack on Iran, but would join a ground invasion if the U.S. were to launch one. CBS's Sabina Castelfranco reports the war has impacted at least one athlete at the Paralympic Games in Italy.
With just hours before the official opening of the Games, the only athlete from Iran has decided to pull out of his 2 cross-country skiing events because he cannot travel safely to Italy due to the intensifying Middle East conflict.
Well, here at home, the government says the economy lost 92,000 jobs last month. CBS's Kelly O'Grady.
This is a particularly bad month for manufacturing. Other months we have seen manufacturing jobs increase. So this is a snapshot in time. Overall, we have seen a push to bring jobs, but I think not at that scale that we would have expected.
Sources tell CBS News a multi-million-dollar DHS ad campaign that caught the White House off guard may have been one of the final tipping points in the move to fire Homeland Secretary Kristi Noem. CBS's Natalie Brand.
Sources have told CBS News that tensions had been building for weeks between Noem and the White House, calling this kind of a culmination of what they called or laid out as multiple leadership failures, noting the fallout after Minnesota and the enforcement operation there, as well as allegations of infidelity, which she has denied.
Pope Leo has something to go alongside the Pope Mobile at the Vatican Garage, as we hear from Jeff Gilbert of affiliate WWJ Detroit.
Ford CEO Jim Farley giving the Pope a new Explorer. The Explorer is built on Chicago's South Side, an area where the Pope once lived. It has extras like the Chicago skyline stitched into the center console. Workers at Ford Chicago Assembly Plant knew this vehicle was being made for a VIP. They just didn't know who.
The Dow is down 550. This is CBS News.
What is going on?
What's going on here? How is this possible?
Great storytelling starts here.
Oh, come on.
Why? It's time for 60 Minutes.
6 hours of floor debate in the state legislature. We'll tell you what they were talking about in just a moment. But first, we've got your KIRO Newsradio real-time traffic. And we are a Friday light with an asterisk. There are some areas that are a little bit challenging, even though they're much better than normal. So I-5 southbound, you've got your typical slowing that backs up all the way almost to Shoreline, but it is a much less lighter than it usually is. Linwood to Seattle is just 39 minutes right now. There is a collision, I-5 northbound at 525, blocking the left lane, but it's not causing too much of an issue. Federal Way to Seattle at this minute is 25 minutes. Lake bridges are clear, and we did have a collision on 520, but I guess that's cleared. There is a little bit of a backup getting into Seattle. Renton to Bellevue on 405, 17 minutes. Bothell to Bellevue, also 17 minutes. This report brought to you by KIRO News Radio.
KIRO News Radio, 97.3 FM, Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good morning, I'm Jillian Raftery. A long night at the State House of Representatives. A bill that would allow a state commission to remove elected sheriffs passed after hours of debate. Every Republican president voted no.
This effort to remove sheriffs looks a lot like The Empire Strikes Back, the 1980 Star Wars movie, an effort by an overwhelming political force to stamp out dissent.
Supporters include former Snohomish County Sheriff John Lovick, who is now serving in the state Senate. They say the bill creates uniform hiring standards and that the current way to remove sheriffs through a recall election is too cumbersome. The bill now goes back to the Senate, where amendments will need approval before it can be put before the governor. A former Mercer Island high school student is seeking more than $13 million from the school district. She claims administrators failed to protect her from a teacher who groomed her and sexually abused her. The district declined to comment on that Times story. A near miss as a car speeding away from police flipped over on a median on I-5 in Centralia on Tuesday.
All of a sudden, I just saw a car flying through the air toward us.
That woman tells KIRO 7 TV she had a split second to get out of the way.
And I know it was a big shock to them when ultimately a young lady crawled out of the car. and handed her a toddler off. How was he okay? Was he in a car seat? No, not in a car seat. So then you go, okay, his guardian angel was looking out for him.
All 3 adults in that car that crashed were arrested. Average gas prices in Washington jumped 4 cents overnight and 14 cents in the last week. The national average is up 34 cents in that time. AAA ties these increases to the conflict in Iran, saying that the barrel price of crude has gone up more than $70. We're going to check your weather forecast now, and a rainy day with a high of 51. Spotty showers tomorrow and a high of 54. It's 48 degrees right now in downtown Seattle. I'm Jillian Raftery for KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news, serving Western Washington and the world with a KIRO Newsradio app. Always streaming live on your smart speakers. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
This is the Gee and Ursula Show with G. Scott and Ursula Reutin.
I asked the guy, why you so fly? He said, funky cold Medina.
Oh, happy Fresh Fridays here on the Gee and Ursula Show. Good morning to all of you. Thank you for hanging out with us. Nick is here. Good morning, Nick. Good morning, Sophia. And Angela Paul Russell.
Good morning,
Phil's in today. Good morning to you. You guys ready for a good show today?
Hey, listen, how can it not be good?
There we
You're
go.
here.
There we go. Hey, coming up at 9:33, teens are using something as their wingman. What could go wrong? So we'll tell you at 9:33. But right now, let's get to it. Top stories of the day brought to you by Pittergas Law.
Speaking of what could go wrong, a Washington man has filed a claim against the Department of Licensing, alleging they knew about a security flaw that exposed our data and did nothing about it. According to a report from King 5, William Black filed the claim ahead of a potential class action. The claim alleges that beginning in 2018, around the time of upgrades to that License Express system many of us have used, that DOL introduced a security flaw that allowed anyone to access driver's license and address information for people in the system and allowed them to change the address on a record. It says people would change addresses and then request replacement licenses to be mailed to the new addresses, which made people vulnerable to identity theft. The filing alleges the fraud was often obvious because dozens or hundreds of replacement licenses will be sent to the same address, sometimes using the same email for many orders. The claim states that DOL asked for help from the Washington State Patrol and that more than 1,000 successful thefts had already occurred. And apparently, the State Patrol told DOL that the workload of hundreds of new cases per month was more than it could handle and that the agency needed to fix the security flaw. The DOL allegedly fixed this security flaw early last year, and if all of this is proven true, gee, that would mean this flaw remained for almost 7 years.
You know, it seems like I've been saying the same thing on stories like these are the exact reason why people lose trust in government systems. Some of you guys know, and I will bring it up, back 6 years ago, 2020, when ESD, the Washington Employment Security Department, you guys remember when they lost $647 million to the fraudulent unemployment claims during COVID? Mm-hmm. You guys remember that? And the person in charge, what'd they do? Oh, they got a promotion. Let's see. Then yesterday, you gave us the news telling me how the King County executive now is going to be hiring someone that within to be an auditor to make sure we'll check those out. And I told you then, like, okay, we'll see. And then right now, the DOL License Express. By the way, I use that License Express. Mm-hmm. It kind of is simple, but once again, people's trust in government systems. Like, here's the thing. Then why the heck do y'all get a salary then? Like, what is your job? And so when this happens and when we report this news, most of us, we all ask the same question. Okay, so whose fault? Okay, yes, DOL, but no. We want to know which individuals dropped the ball. And so we never get those answers, and then we move on to the next topic, and we just go on about our day, and it's just business as usual. Like, this is stupid already.
Yeah. You know, I have to be honest with you. When I first heard about this story, I didn't really want to do it. And I'll tell you why. I realized I was numb to it. I was numb to it. I am exhausted from getting the letter in the mail, and maybe this has happened to you. The letter comes in the mail. Sorry, your identity's been exposed. Your personal information's been exposed. Here's a free thing to track your credit report. I mean, I think like once a month these things are coming in. Mm-hmm. But then, I had to step back and say, we can't be numb to this, because this was something that you were actually engaging officials to go after people instead of looking, this is allegedly, instead of looking at what the problem was and fixing the problem. So was it you didn't have the resources, you didn't have the tech support? We have all this tech talent around here. This is a state agency. So do we need to invest more money there to keep our information safe?
We do. I'm just saying, for me, like, look, I'm not saying that I wish people lose jobs. That's not what I'm saying. What I am saying is for me, I need a little bit more than the Washington Department of Licensing did a oopsie, and a lot of identities have been, used in this situation. You're talking about a real failure of basic responsibility. Like, that is literally your job. So I need more of that, because we're going to move on and we're talking about something else.
Have you ever been a victim of ID theft?
Knock on wood, no.
Okay, now it happened once, and when I tell you, it is so hard.
Is it?
Oh my gosh, you have to prove everything. I really didn't purchase this from JCPenney. I mean, everything that someone has racked up on your credit cards and all the things. It is a hot mess, and clearly we need to have processes in place in the state to make sure that no agency goes 7 years without fixing a potential security flaw. Let's get to our next top story. We are learning more about Kent police arresting 12 men during an undercover operation at a Kent hotel last week. Como TV reports that in the one-day sting, detectives working undercover targeted individuals soliciting prostitutes online. The operation focused on identifying and arresting those seeking sex in exchange for money, including cases involving women and sometimes young girls. All 12 suspects were booked into jail, including residents from Ruston, Kent, Seattle, Joint Base Lewis McChord, Sammamish, Federal Way, Tacoma, all the things. Police said one of them from Covington hit an officer and tried to run away. And apparently, according to authorities, he has prior convictions involving a minor. Police emphasize that most people involved in the sex industry are victims who often begin as children and are coerced through drugs, abuse, and control. And Gee, I know we've debated this topic for some time. And so sometimes we see like what the solution to this is a little differently. How are you reacting to this news?
What's it? I mean, first of all, I'm always going to be, and let's find out who are trying to sex traffic women against their will, sex traffic young teenagers and young girls. I'm always against that. But the best way to figure who that is out and the best way to expose it is to legalize prostitution. It is the oldest profession in human history. It's been around forever. So when I hear stories like that, like, oh my goodness, they had a police sting, they busted 12. What is the goal?
The goal is to reduce demand. Reduce demand. So let me ask you a question. Why do some people not commit crime? Answer this. If you can answer that question, why do some people avoid committing crimes? Why?
Because they don't want to get in trouble.
There you go. Right. So
wait. I just want to make sure I got this straight. Mm-hmm. You're saying the goal is to reduce demand.
So if people who are wanting to solicit sex feel like, you know what, this could ruin my life, I'm not going to do this, because here's the counter to that. All of a sudden you make it legal. People are like, oh, well, I can go legally do this. You will have more customers, and you don't have the women, and I'll just use women in this case. I know there are men who are prostitutes, but then you don't have enough women to keep up with demand. When you don't have enough people to keep up with demand, that's when people are forced to do it. There is not a line out the door of people saying, sign me up to do this job. But a bunch of people are saying, I want you to do the job, which is why trafficking happens. That's why they have to trick people. That's why they steal their passports. That's why they drug them in hopes they will shame them into staying. That's my argument. I think.
No.
Let me ask you this.
Oh, no. I'm gonna say
Give
right
your
now.
counter. We'll go back.
No. I'm gonna just say your argument right now is absolutely impossible. You are saying to decrease the demand for sex.
No.
No.
Sex for sale.
It's been out there. So this is the oldest human profession. When you make things like this illegal, this is where the crime happens. This is where the trafficking happens. There is no regulation. There's no health checks. There's no protection. You literally have an opportunity to make things safer. Example, tell me the last time in the top stories you've had a crime centered around OnlyFans. There's a demand for somebody wanting to pay to see somebody's feet. But that's perfectly legal. There is a demand. You will never decrease.
Where are the women going to come from, G? When all of a sudden you open it up, all of a sudden you open it up.
Where do they come from OnlyFans? Where do they come from OnlyFans?
It's a different thing. Okay, let me.
No. Wait. You said it's a different thing. There's OnlyFans. Where do the women come from to sell whatever it is that they do? It is huge.
Guys sign up to do it. They control it. They're online.
They control it?
Right, but
there's no crime?
Okay. Let me ask you this. Okay. So if we go on your argument that it's the oldest profession and all, you're not going to stop it. So drugs, a lot of these cities have said, yeah, we just need to, let people do it, not criminalize it. And they think that's going to reduce it. It has not. It has not reduced it. So you're using the same argument. What you're going to do is you're going to drive up more demand for these services, and you're not going to have the people to keep up with delivering it. That's my take. And we can agree to disagree, but I do understand what you're saying.
No, we're going to stay on this because you just brought up drugs, and I'm glad you said that.
Okay.
The goal isn't to necessarily, first of all, there's always going to be a demand for drugs. Always. You'll never stop that. The goal is to stop the criminal activity around drugs. Example, marijuana, weed. Question, in the top stories, how often are we talking about, with the exception of robberies at cannabis stores, with the exception of that, in which that's another whole thing. They should be able to take credit cards. But anyway, with the exception of that, when do we talk about crime centered around marijuana? We don't anymore because it's legal. Now, it's legal. People are able to go. It's regulated, right? There's no crime centered around. So my point in the whole prostitution thing, I want to be able to crack down on underage trafficking. I want to decrease the criminal activity around around sex work. You will never decrease the demand for sex. That's never going to happen. And so right now, regulate it so it is safer. So people, it could be taxed. Women that are in sex work or men that are in sex work, they are safer. You can actually find out who's who. So then there's no criminal activity. That's my goal. I don't think you'll ever decrease the demand for sex.
I think I don't think we're going to increase the demand for sex, but in terms of getting it that way, that's the part where I don't see how the numbers add up without people being forced to do it. There's some of them being forced to do it right now.
No.
So with that,
you're right about that. So it is easier to find out who's doing that as opposed to there's an industry of some women are not being forced to do it, right? Sometimes you go to Bellevue sometimes, and you go to some of these spots, right? The Earls, the W's, right? The Joeys, and you see that, and they might be a little bit more sophisticated with it. They might not be out there on Aurora and Pack Highway and Pacific Avenue and Tacoma, but they're in Bellevue, and there's more of a you'll never stop the demand for it, and you'll never stop the oldest profession.
Here's the good news. You and I, it sounds like, want the same thing. We have very different ideas. I definitely think the next time we get together, I would just love to see evidence of places where this has...
Nevada? The ranch?
I've
the Buddy
talked
Ranch?
to people who've been trafficked in Nevada, so despite it being where it is, it's still happening.
How much crime is around it, though?
It is a crime if you're being trafficked.
No. I know that.
Let me just go on the premise of one thing. Okay, you said that the goal with the drug regulating that piece was to reduce the crime around it. That wasn't my goal. I really want to see people go into recovery and rehabilitation. And yes, crime is part of it. So you're talking about the crime around it. I'm talking about people being exploited and abused.
Okay. Back to the drugs. So, wait. You think that in the United States that there will be a decrease in demand for drugs?
No. Did I say that?
You said you said about goals. I said my goal.
What I'm saying is I don't think that legalizing it is going to make people use it less. I think it's made people use it more. We now have an epidemic of kids now who was never intended for using marijuana and frying their brains and somehow getting on the.
I don't disagree with that. My goal is to decrease the criminal activity around it. You will never decrease the demand. A lot of people weren't allowed to drink until they're 21 back in our day, but for some reason, kids still had alcohol at the parties. How often did you go to a high school party and there was no alcohol? Well, what made the kids get the alcohol? Or do we not look at alcohol as being something, considering how dangerous alcohol is, considering the DUIs, the drunk driving that we've had in this country?
So let's just open it up and legalize it for them then, right?
The whole point is to reduce the criminal activity around it.
I understand. You know what I love? Okay, I don't know how people are reacting to our quote argument,
it's
but
awesome.
I just want y'all to know that this is just how G and I talk. Like this, we would do this at a dinner table.
All the time. All the time. You got time for another one?
Let's see.
That got good.
Yeah, let's do this really quick. Okay, let's do it really quick.
All
right. It's a headline we're really trying to make sense of here. Amazon's global real estate team plans to cut 49,000 desks.
Okay.
I'm like, desk, okay. The Puget Sound Business Journal says it's going to free up 10 million square feet of office space. Staffers heard about this just before the CEO announced that investors would be pouring $200 billion into AI. It's also investing $50 billion into OpenAI. Now, Amazon isn't saying where the office space cuts will be, but the company's senior real estate manager noted that the office space surplus is a result of its change in headcount strategy. Just in the last 6 months, Amazon has laid off roughly 30,000 employees. Other tech companies have prioritized cutting costs to fund AI. Microsoft recently confirmed it has no plan to continue construction of the 5 buildings in its Redmond campus expansion.
When you reduce desk, you reduce capacity. When you reduce capacity, you're basically telling workers, hey, we don't have the room. So this is just a very sneaky way of saying we're going to be cutting people. I mean, it was well done. Your thoughts on it?
I was like 49,000 desks. Yeah. And by the way, I want to mention, I don't know if you all heard about this, but OpenAI, the company that is behind ChatGPT, they opened an office space in Bellevue this week. It's in Bellevue City Center Plaza. It's supposed to hold 1,500 employees. Right. So, AI is on the come up, but it also means perhaps it's looking like a shrinking number of people.
Seattle has a Bellevue problem. Everything that closes down, go to Bellevue is what's been happening. Hey, before we go, I just gotta. My God, Mac in Bellevue. I got a question for you.
What's the question?
Angela? Strip clubs. Question: how often? Be honest now. How often do we talk about crime in strip clubs here in Washington?
We don't talk about it much. Okay. But I can't confirm or deny what is happening.
In order to work at a strip club, you have to go to the police department and get fingerprinted. Coming up next here on the Gee and Ursula Show, teen boys are using something as their wingman. We discuss that next. Gee and Ursula.
John Curley Show.
When people sit there and they see people with the American flag and they're utterly disgusted because they associate the flag and USA with Donald Trump, don't do that. You're doing yourself an amazing disservice.
Weekdays 3 to 7.
You could dislike Donald Trump, but you can still love America. It's like discounting Photograph from Nickelback, which is actually a pretty good song. Think of the fact that you love this country, and what you love about it is it's inclusive. Good. Include others.
Watch the John Curley Show live on YouTube.
The team that gave me back my full head of hair, Advanced Hair, is once again the winner of the 425 Business of the Year. Dr. Parango and his world-class team begin regrowing your own natural hair the very next day. And Advanced Hair guarantees your new hair will grow, just like they did for me. Find out why Advanced Hair is the best of the best. With your free consultation, you'll receive $250 off and 250 free hair grafts. 425-449-8185 or advancedhair.com.
Do you like helping others? Become a Shiva volunteer. In Pierce County, join the hundreds of volunteers across Washington state who help over 90,000 people each year with their Medicare options and questions. You don't have to know Medicare. We'll teach you. And if you're bilingual, even better. For more information and how to apply, call Shiva at 1-800-562-6900 or go to insurance.wa.gov.
Sponsored by the Office of the Insurance Commissioner and aired by the Washington State Association of Broadcasters and this station.
Eric Johnson here. I spent the past 30 years working to help make our community better informed, better protected when it comes to consumer issues, and better equipped to take on whatever life throws at us. That's why I love the free Washington Accident book series from Davis Law Group. These books keep us better informed about the law, better able to protect ourselves on and off the road, and better off when all is said and done after an accident. Chris Davis didn't have to write these books. He did it because he saw a need. People who were in accidents or other legal situations didn't know what to do, what pictures to take, documents to request. Only a tiny fraction of the people who get these free books will ever become clients of Davis Law Group, but that's not the point. Chris wrote them because it was the right thing to do. The free Washington Accident book series is a must-have for drivers who want to be prepared for whatever the road might throw at them. Get yours at WashingtonAccidentBooks.com.
Jackson Hewitt knows taxes are complicated, and with multiple jobs and tax forms, they're like Sonata complicated. Our no surprise pricing keeps things simple. Jackson Hewitt does your taxes for only $149 or less. And since we know all the new tax codes, you could get thousands back. So what are you waiting for? Hurry. File with Jackson Hewitt today for only $149 or less, guaranteed. Limited time offer for new clients on federal returns. Participating locations only. Terms at jacksonhewitt.com/149.
Confidence is knowing you're ready to handle whatever comes your way. That's what it feels like to take on your workday with Cintas. They make sure your AEDs are up to date, your fire extinguishers are tested and inspected, your floor mats are cleaned and delivered, and your workwear looks good, feels good, and is freshly laundered with a Cintas Apparel Plus program. So are you ready to take on today? Visit Cintas.com.
Oh, I'm ready!
And get ready for the workday.
If you're drowning in IRS debt and can't afford to pay, then you need to take advantage of special IRS tax programs that are available and free yourself from IRS collection efforts once and for all. Due to the financial hardship consumers are facing throughout the country, the Internal Revenue Service has made it easier to settle delinquent tax problems. An open phone line has been established by Community Tax for consumers to call and see if they qualify. Take down this number or store it in your cell phone, but call the Community Tax Helpline at 800-269-3454. If you owe back taxes to the IRS and cannot afford to pay them back, or even if you have years of unfiled tax returns, there's no need to fear anymore. But you have to call the Community Tax Helpline today at 800-269-3454 for the help that you need. Don't take on the IRS alone. They can attack your wages, savings, pension, home, and even your Social Security check. Call 800-269-3454 for your free consultation and to see if you qualify. That's 800-269-3454.
Carter Subaru is Seattle's only Subaru dealer with the largest selection of Subarus in Washington. With over 800 vehicles in stock, they have exactly what you're looking for with savings you'll love. Visit Carter Subaru in Shoreline and Ballard or anytime at cartersubaru.com.
Aetna was there for me as I was going through a rough medical patch this year. I had peace of mind, which helped with my healing.
Those words from a real Aetna Medicare Advantage member speak to why U.S. News & World Report named us a best Medicare Advantage company. Because we show up on calls with members and doctors' offices when requested. We show up with the latest in online tools for easier access to healthcare. We show up for you. Because that's how healthier happens together. Member feedback has been edited for length and clarity.
Guys, did you know your testosterone level impacts your energy, libido, sleep, weight, hair loss, mood, and even ED? And right now, Revive Men's Health Seattle will check your testosterone for free. They've helped thousands of men since 2011 feel and perform better. They're so confident they can help you, they even guarantee it. Schedule your free testosterone test, exam, and consultation today. Call 206-529-1111. That's 206-529-1111. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
An organized home is a happy home and a happy homeowner. John Curley here. Closets by Design made me and my home happy. Experience the quality and backing of a national brand with friendly local Seattle service. From booking the appointment to a free in-home consult to installation day, Closets by Design will leave you wowed and clutter-free. Right now, get up to 40% off plus an additional 15% off and 18 months financing and free installation. Visit closetsbydesign.com or call 1-800-BY-DESIGN to schedule today.
KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good morning, I'm Jillian Raftery. Explosions rocking Beirut. As Israel pounded Lebanon's capital, targeting Hezbollah, an expansion of the war that country is fighting with the United States against Iran. CBS News correspondent Matt Gutman in Tel Aviv says the U.S. is flexing its superiority over Iran in the skies over Tehran.
Real dominance over the skies over Iran. And that means that you're going to be able to spend more time in those fighter jets, in bombers, above Iran without the threat of being taken out by surface-to-air missiles or other air defenses. And that means both more precise attacks, but also a wider array of attacks from bigger platforms like B-52s. So I think what we're going to see, at least that's what military sources tell me, is a changing dynamic of the types of strikes that we're going to see in Iran.
The goal is regime change, but who takes over now is the question. The Justice Department has released the Epstein files that include a woman's accusations against President Donald Trump.
The department says the files have been mistakenly withheld during an earlier review because they were incorrectly labeled as duplicative. They contain a summary of the FBI's interview of a woman who claimed Jeffrey Epstein flew her to either New York or New Jersey, where she said she bit President Trump after he tried to sexually assault her. She also claimed Epstein had arranged sexual encounters with other men and schemed to have her mother sent to prison. Her accusations remain uncorroborated. Michael Wallace, CBS News.
Big news for a former Seahawk. ESPN reports quarterback Geno Smith is going to be cut from the Las Vegas Raiders unless there's an 11th hour trade. He had been traded to the Raiders for a third-round draft pick from Seattle. He'd been successful in combination with former Hawks coach Pete Carroll, who also joined the Raiders and was cut after just one season. Getting around Bothell is not going to be easy this weekend. All lanes of 405 will be closed around SR 522 from 6 o'clock Saturday until 4 a.m. Monday. Here's WashDOT's Lauren Pennig.
We know it's going to be really challenging for people because we're closing down 405 in both directions. That's not something that we do very often, but it is required in order to get these portions of the ramp down safely.
Penning says drivers should add at least an hour to their trips in the area. Now we're going to check your drive, KIRO News Radio real-time traffic, and we are Friday light. No collisions. Linwood to Seattle is 32 minutes. Federal Way to Seattle on I-5 northbound is 25 minutes. Renton to Bellevue, just 14 minutes. This report brought to you by the KIRO News Radio app. Text app to 888-973-5476 to download the KIRO News Radio app. Listen to your favorite shows and get the latest news and updates sent straight to your phone. Staying rainy with a high of 51 today. It's 48 degrees in downtown Seattle. I'm Jillian Raftery for KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
It is the Gee and Ursula Show. Good morning to you. Hey, coming up at 9:47. You know how this week we have been talking about small business? Well, Angela Poe Russell has a story in which some of us need to remember when we're thinking about our community. So that happens at 9:47. I'm looking forward to that. All right. We do need to talk about something that's happening. Boys in high school are now using AI to help them talk to girls. And hold on now. It's not the guy you might expect. We're talking about the 6-foot athletes, the popular kids, the ones getting high fives in the hallway. But before they text a girl, some of them are passing the message on to ChatGPT first. Is this okay? Should I say it differently? One teen told a reporter in Vox it's because a lot of guys don't feel like they have anyone else to ask. They've been taught talking about feelings are weak, and that saying the wrong thing could get them in trouble. Girls, on the other hand, aren't turning to AI as much. They're relying on their friends still to workshop those messages. But for the dudes, instead of friends, they go to AI. So here's the question. Is the problem really with kids turning to ChatGPT for everything, or the fact that teen boys don't feel like they have a real person to talk to in the first place? Do we need to fix this first? Angela?
I think it's the latter. It does concern me that they feel like they don't have someone they can talk to about it. And I just, I have a teenager. I just one now because my other one's about to turn 21, but just one teenager. And I do feel in general, it's like they have all these friends on Instagram and TikTok, quote friends. But how many friends do they have? People who you feel like you can be yourself with. And I think that it used to be that you didn't have your phone around, so you had to engage with the people around you when you went to events. And now you can hide. If I'm feeling awkward in the elevator, I just stare at my phone. And I just feel like that's disconnected them and robbed them of an opportunity to connect.
Yeah. I love this. I absolutely do. I don't think this is a wingman or someone that you can talk to like ChatGPT. I don't think it's just good for teens. I think it's good for adults. So the one thing that and I think we all can say that we are noticing, we always talked about and put the focus on your IQ. You ever taken an IQ test? Like, this person's IQ, they're 147. And like, oh my gosh, they're so smart. They're so smart. And I'd argue that your EQ, your emotional intelligence, is way more important than your IQ.
Agree.
You could be smart and dumb at the same time. You could be so smart and choose to say the dumbest things at the wrong time. And I think we're also learning, too, that just because you're an adult doesn't mean that you have the greatest advice, right? There are some adults that's out here. Like, have you seen some of these adults on social media? Have you seen the way that they act? You want some of these kids to, hey, Dad, can you give me some advice on how to talk to this person?
Yeah. You make a good point because AI, and that's part of the big debate, is they're able to source all this advice and books that have been written and articles that have been written to give you the best possible answer. And so I could understand the reasoning of saying, you know what, I'm going to let that be one of my sources. In other words, I may ask a friend or a parent, but I'm also going to see what AI has to say because it has sourced all this information from all these experts all around the world to come up with an answer. I mean, I was just asking it, what do I do for a coworker who's always disagreeing with me? And let's see. Okay, here it is. I love it.
What do you got?
Talk to them privately if the pattern continues. Acknowledge their point and then redirect. I see what you're saying, G, but my thought was that doing that. So it's telling you acknowledge, which I think is a good thing, to always acknowledge someone's point. Repeat, G, I heard you say this, and I actually see that. I see it a little bit differently. It gave me all that advice, which is great stuff you would find in a book.
So that's the point, right? Like, yes. It's not just teenagers. Even adults can use these things. And one of the things that I do like about this, if this can get a teenager to just slow down or an adult to slow down, that email that you got from your boss or your boss, what they said to you, sometimes you want to snap. Sometimes you want to respond and go off. But is that the best thing for you? Or sometimes is it better just to be like, you know what? I'm going to take that. Hey, ChatGPT, can you help me craft this email? I really want to just go off on my boss right now. And I really want to, like if this wasn't a boss situation and we were out in the real world, I would respond a lot different. But boss, I want to pay my bills and keep my job and keep me going. ChatGPT, help me.
Do you know I've done that?
What you do?
I drafted a nasty gram because I was mad. I was really angry at something, and I drafted this email. I just knew I was so angry that it was probably tinged in something. Mm-hmm. So I said, okay, let me put this in the AI. And I said, hey, I'm trying to avoid same thing you just said. I've done it, and it was able to clean it up. And
so
it was not here, by the way.
No one here.
Not here.
Yeah,
no.
I've had mine here.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I've had mine here. So how about this? Since the beginning of time, we've always had a wingman, whether it was older brother or the uncle or the mom or the aunt, or it was, remember Google? Google used to be a thing.
Yeah.
People was putting it into Google. Now you're getting AI.
Yeah, but when you say emotional intelligence, my fear is that people are no longer going to have innate emotional intelligence. They can't trust their own instincts. They're going to have to always turn to an AI source.
Like the GPS. How, like some folks... No, seriously, like the GPS, we used to have to use maps
but
and really
navigation has nothing to do with my emotional intelligence.
What I'm trying to say is that it's a similar thing in that we're now on autopilot with our directions.
Sure.
And what you're saying is, what if our emotion things becomes an autopilot to have to check in with a thing before we check in with ourselves? That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, that's why I think AI and ChatGPT is the problem, not the latter, like you were saying, because the way I learned, and maybe you didn't have a wingman, or maybe you felt like there's no one there, you put yourself out there and try and meet new people through trial and error. That's how you learn. Teaching, the experience is the best teacher in my mind.
You just nailed it right there. Because the truth is, ChatGPT, Google, your mama, your daddy, there's a lot of things in life that only time can teach you.
Those tools, they're stealing the experience and the lessons from you.
So, Sophia, will you avoid it altogether or try to just regulate it so that you don't lose the EQ piece?
I say regulate it. I personally very rarely, especially when it comes to advice, I'm not asking some... You know how I feel about AI. I'm not asking some robot for how I should. I mean, maybe I'll this is what I wrote. Can you restructure it a little bit? But I'm not going to go organically off the dome, have ChatGPT write an email for me.
I'm asking, especially if I was in my 20s. If I was in my 20s and a boss says something to me I didn't like, the OG in his 20s? Oh,
he's flipping his chair over.
What? I wouldn't be here. Coming up next, Angela has an amazing story talking about small business within the community. Next, Gee Ursula.
KIRO Newsradio, where you turn for the news you depend on.
Two competing budget proposals. Senators want to be aggressive, they say.
Traffic.
We have a stall on westbound 16.
Conversation.
If they pass this thing and Governor Ferguson signs it into law, I think there's going to be a mass political sea change in Washington State.
And your Super Bowl champion Seahawks.
They're bringing it home again.
Broadcasting live from the KIRO Newsradio YouTube channel. KIRO Newsradio 97.3 FM.
High five! Up top!
Dave's company just got the 5-year price lock guarantee from Comcast Business.
Yeah!
It's 5 years of gig speed internet, advanced security, and a great rate that won't change. All from the company with 99.9% network reliability.
Heck yeah!
He hasn't given this many high fives since Deborah brought in her famous banana bread.
Yes!
The Comcast Business 5-year price lock guarantee. Powering 5 years of savings, powering possibilities.
And it's hurting, but I am not stopping.
Woo! For a limited time, now through March 29th, switch to Comcast Business to lock in your rate for 5 years and get a $500 prepaid card on a qualifying gig bundle. Or ask how to get started with 150 megabit internet and Security Edge for $59.99 a month for 12 months with a 2-year agreement. Don't wait. Call today. Restrictions apply. New customers only. 1-year contract required for guaranteed rate. Paperless billing and automatic payments with bank account required. 5-year pricing applies to monthly service charge excluding taxes and fees.
Progressive knows life takes you in many directions.
Bear right at exit 32, then begin to wonder why you never bought a fish tank. In 1.3 miles, you'll realize you've been mispronouncing epitome your whole life. At the roundabout, you will remember you said something at dinner you wish you hadn't and will think about it for decades. You have arrived at your destination, but it turns out there really is no destination and life just keeps going.
Wherever life takes you, protect your home and auto with a bundle from Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and other insurers. Not available in all states or situations.
Tired of hearing scary radio ads about the IRS? Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000 or $500,000, we have a solution. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS with zero risk to you. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with a BBB. End your tax nightmare today by visiting TRA.com or call 800-583-6681. That's 800-583-6681.
It started as a puddle.
Where?
In the shower.
Uh-oh.
Then the kitchen sink.
Started backing up?
Yeah.
I know where this is going.
Clogged up.
Right. No problem.
Beg your pardon?
There's no clog we can't clear.
You're Dan.
From Apollo Plumbing.
This is going to get pricey.
How about $83?
To clear my drain?
Apollo Plumbing clears main drains every day.
For $83?
83 or it's free.
What's the catch?
No catch. We'll even do a camera inspection.
Why's that?
It's the best way to find the cause of your clog.
And it's included?
No extra charge. Truth is, we hate clogs.
I don't love them.
Seen them all.
Ew.
I promise. There's no clog Apollo can't clear.
Guaranteed.
83 or free.
Goodbye, slow drains.
All it takes is an accessible clean out.
And Apollo gets my drains draining again.
You call, we come, it's fixed.
My heroes.
Just doing our job.
Thank you, Apollo Plumbing.
ApolloPlumbing.com.
The team that gave me back my full head of hair, Advanced Hair, is once again the winner of the 425 Business of the Year. Dr. Perungo and his world-class team begin regrowing your own natural hair the very next day. And Advanced Hair guarantees your new hair will grow, just like they did for me. Find out why Advanced Hair is the best of the best. With your free consultation, you'll receive $250 off and 250 free hair grafts. 425-449-8185 or advancedhair.com.
A 20-year study published in Current Biology showed a sizable increase in fatal accidents following spring daylight saving time. Pay attention and slow down. Many drivers are dealing with less sleep and an adjustment to their routines. If you, a friend, or family member are involved in a car accident, call CAR. The Herald Car Law Offices have 7 locations across Western Washington to serve accident victims, and they are at their best when dealing with insurance companies. Focus on your recovery while the team at the Herald Car Law Offices tracks down paperwork and communicates with insurance on your behalf. Not only will they help you recover the amount you deserve from insurance, they'll save you a lot of time and money in trying to do it yourself. They understand how difficult it is to recover from a serious injury, while they hold the insurance company or other negligent party accountable. Herald Car Law Offices can help. Go to carlaw.com. That's C-A-R-R. carlaw.com. Car accident? Call CAR.
Where you buy your vehicle matters. At Subaru Puyallup, it's about safety for every drive, confidence in every season, and a buying experience that is stress-free. It starts with friendly experts who listen and continues with stress-free pricing, an easy process, and a genuine care that lasts the life of your Subaru. During the Subaru A Lot to Love event through March 31st, enjoy extra savings. Subaru of Puyallup, part of the Harnish Auto family. Visit SubaruofPuyallup.com, your stress-free dealership.
The Gee Ursula Show. Good morning to all of you. Mark and Nisqually said, loving this spirited show. The spicing is excellent. Hey, coming up next at 10, we're going to talk about Kristi Noem. And I think Kristi Noem, is now going to become a verb for me. I'll tell you what that verb is next. Don't worry. It's close with DEI.
I can't wait.
You already know. But right now, we need to talk about community and small business. And Angela Poe Russell, you have a story that happened yesterday. We'd love to hear about it.
Yes, my daughter's school wanted to have an event. It was related to Black History Month, and they wanted people in the school to experience some traditional foods. And the budget was small. And so I said, I'll just get what we can get based on the budget. So I called up the owner of Simply Soulful, and and told her, I was like, hey, here's the budget.
Love Simply Soulful. Love
and
them.
I was like, here's the budget. It's kind of small, so just give us what we can, give us what this will pay for. She goes, oh no, how many people are you taking care of? We got you. We'll help you. She goes, I help the people at Madrona Elementary. If it's for the kids, she said, I will help. And that just got me, because that was on the heels. I think it might have been the same day or the day after our discussion about small businesses and how they are struggling in this environment. And then where her shop is, Amazon Fresh just closed, so she's lost foot traffic. And even in those moments, saying, how can I give? Right. And that it just really touched me. And so it was a great event. More than 100 kids came out and sampled some of the food, and there was some left over, just generous.
I love that story, and I think that all of us listening to what you said maybe can maybe have our own story where there was a business that says, well, how much you got? And we'll just make it work, right? That's what you get with small business. And when you start thinking about these amazing folks that are within our community, and you start thinking about them closing down, and then you go to the one business that says, hey, listen, we have this get together with the kids and everything. How much can I get? Don't you see the price list? The price list is right there.
Yeah.
That's where, go ahead, look at the price list, and you tell us what you want. Like that, just that disconnection that you have. And when you have community, that's the part that is really important. So I love that. By the way, that food looked good.
It was good. The mac and cheese, jambalaya, catfish. One other aspect, I remember talking to another small business owner. This was about a year ago, and I can't even remember which business. Yeah. But what they said to me is they were a little bit hurt, because they said people come to us when they want us to sponsor the baseball team, when they're fundraising for something. But then when they have a big event to spend money, they go to other places. And I was like, I felt that, because those are the ones you turn to, because they're part of your community. They're not some big corporate office that you can't reach. So what this reinforced to me is pay that forward. If we do have money to spend, hey, let's support a business that's based in our community.
Love that.
Which I love too. So
today is Friday within the 947 block of the show. Every Friday at 947, we called it Flex Friday. And Flex Friday is folks checking in on whether or not they had any type of workout this week. And so the thing is I can tell, like, just like the new year, we're going to get started and this and that. And then as we get to March and people start, no. We made a promise and a pact at the beginning of the year. Every Friday at 9:47, we would check in and talk about any type of activity that we have been continuing to do at least once in a week. So even if you didn't work out, that's fine. That's cool. But I just want to let it be known, we are staying on top of this all of 2026. Nick, we stand on top of it. Just want you to know.
Yeah, we are. I went on a couple runs this week. Maybe it's not as many as I used to go on, but yeah, we're still hanging in there. The rain maybe kind of makes you feel a little cozy inside. So okay. A little harder to get yourself motivated, but you push yourself through it.
Got to push yourself through it. And don't worry. I'm not asking. You can
see my face. I look guilty as heck, because no, I did not this week. But next week I'm getting back on track, and I will text into the show on Friday to confirm that I did.
Okay. Sophia, did you
Well, I mean, usually I'm pretty good about it, but this was kind of like on back end of the birthday celebrations, kind of get readjusted to life. I tried yesterday, it did not happen, but we're gonna try it again tonight. So I think I'll be able to get a workout in tonight.
Okay.
But post birthday doesn't count.
Okay.
All right.
I cooked some great cookies last night, though.
Hey, that's self-care. That's self-care.
What's up with these cookies? You make.
They're good, man.
I'm going to try some of these famous cookies. I still haven't tried them.
Oh, shoot. Okay.
We'll fix that. All I know is, let me tell you about Angela's cookies. Angela brought some cookies in. Was that Monday? It was like Monday.
It was Monday, I think.
So, yeah.
Monday.
And I was like, it was there. 5 minutes, them things was gone. They're like gone.
Yeah, you came and brought me the empty container.
I was guilty. We got some seconds there. They were so good, man.
Yeah. Do you like the crunch type, or do you like more of the soft?
No, I like how you do it. I like it soft, where you can break it up and there's no crispiness. Yeah, It melts in your mouth. It's the best.
Okay, but the way you resisted it, G, was pretty good.
Well, I have to. Because, I mean, full transparency, your dog is getting ready to turn 50. You know what I mean? So I got to look a certain type of way.
He was full from his turkey and cottage cheese that day.
Yes, yes. Hey, we got the 10 o'clock hour coming up. And yes, we're going to be talking about Kristi Noem being ousted as Homeland Security Secretary. But I find something interesting. The replacement. Is the replacement qualified? Or is the replacement DEI? We'll talk about it next. Gee Ursula.
The John Curley Show.
I can't wait till I get a little older, be the really crotchety old guy, getting close to being eccentric. As my mom used to say, I don't make enough money to be eccentric. I'm just middle-class crazy right now.
Watch The John Curley Show live on YouTube.
Do you like helping others? Become a Shiva volunteer. In Pierce County, join the hundreds of volunteers across Washington state who help over 90,000 people each year with their Medicare options and questions. You don't have to know Medicare. We'll teach you. And if you're bilingual, even better. For more information and how to apply, call Shiva at 1-800-562-6900 or go to insurance.wa.gov.
Sponsored by the Office of the Insurance Commissioner and aired by the Washington State Association of Broadcasters and this station.
We'll admit, we've already thrown in the towel on the New Year's resolution.
Yeah, and we made it through dry January. But one healthy new habit we're sticking with is Active Liver from New Nordic. Did you know your liver works around the clock processing food, sugar, alcohol, and everyday toxins? All things that can really impact your health.
That's why daily support matters. Active Liver is designed to help protect normal liver function and support your body's natural detox process.
With trusted ingredients like milk thistle, turmeric, and artichoke extract, it's gentle enough to take all year long.
No harsh cleanses, no extreme detoxes, just simple daily liver support. We really feel the difference.
Yup, more energy and the peace of mind knowing we can enjoy the good things in life while giving our liver the love it needs.
Active Liver is available online at Amazon or NewNordicUSA.com. Or you can find it in stores at CVS, Meijer Grocery, Wegmans, and now Active Liver is available at your local GNC.
Xfinity Tech Support, Matthew speaking.
Hi, I live in a pretty remote place, like Jurassic Park remote. Oh!
Wow.
Will Xfinity Mobile work out here?
Yep, the combination of reliable Wi-Fi and 5G makes it so that you can stay connected in all kinds of places. Plus, you get access to ultra-fast speeds and coverage, whether you're poolside or out live streaming with a T-Rex.
Hold still, you're about to go viral.
Welcome to a new era of Wi-Fi boosted mobile. Cut your mobile bill in half with 2 lines of unlimited. Discover a new era of Wi-Fi boosted mobile at xfinitymobile.com. Xfinity. Imagine that. Watch Jurassic Park with Xfinity. Savings comparison based on promotional rate for 2 lines of Xfinity Mobile Unlimited versus 2 lines of T-Mobile Experience More, Verizon Unlimited Plus, and AT&T Starter as of February 10th, 2026.
Carpal tunnel syndrome. Heart failure that doesn't improve with common medicines. These are some signs and symptoms associated with ATTR-CM, or the cardiomyopathy of ATTR amyloidosis, a serious heart condition with symptoms that get worse over time. Amvuttra, vutrisiran, is a prescription medicine given by a healthcare provider that treats ATTR-CM in adults to reduce heart-related death, hospital stays, and urgent visits. In a clinical study, Amvuttra was proven to help people live longer and have fewer heart-related hospital stays and urgent visits over 3 years compared to placebo. Amvuttra lowers the amount of vitamin A in your blood, which can affect vision. Other side effects include pain in the arms or legs, pain in the joints, and shortness of breath. These are not all the possible side effects of Amvuttra. For prescribing information, call 1-833-256-2748 or learn more at amvuttra.com. Ask your doctor about Amvuttra for ATTR-CM.
Find your pot of gold at Lake Washington Windows and Doors with savings up to 20% on new windows and doors for your home. Plus, enjoy easy 12-month same-as-cash financing. Strike gold today. Visit LakeWashingtonWindows.com.
Your best source for local news. KIRO Newsradio, KIRO FM and HD1, Tacoma, Seattle, Northwest News.
This is CBS News on the Hour, sponsored by JTV.com.
I'm Steve Kathan. President Trump says he'll only accept unconditional surrender from Iran. On day 7 of the war, CBS's Ellie Watson reports on some help for Tehran from Moscow.
Multiple sources tell CBS News that Russia is providing Iran with information about U.S. positions in the region. A partnership between Iran and Russia is not necessarily new. We saw Iran provide hundreds of Shahed drones, the type of drones it makes to Russia for Russia to use in Ukraine. But so far in this war, this is the first involvement of some sort of Russian information, and that brings in another party into this war that does threaten to expand.
Well, today, Israeli warplanes pounded Beirut and Tehran also, as Iran launched another wave of retaliatory strikes targeting other nations in the region. Shirley Bejarano is one of thousands of Americans stuck in the Middle East because of the war. She's trying to get home from Qatar.
We were in the air 2 hours, and we had to come back.
U.S. crude oil prices have risen above $90 a barrel for the first time in more than 2 years. AAA says the national average for a gallon of gas now checks in at $3.32. A new employment report from the government was a surprise for most economists. CBS's Michael Wallace.
The Bureau of Labor Statistics says payrolls fell by 92,000 in February. Economists were expecting an addition of 60,000 jobs after 126,000 were added in January. The unemployment rate inched higher last month from 4.3 to 4.4%. The healthcare sector had been propping up the job market, but nurses' strikes in California and Hawaii dragged down the numbers.
Tributes today for Jesse Jackson in Chicago.
The energy in the room and the gratitude for the iconic civil rights leader is palpable.
Thank you for the life of Reverend Jackson. Thank you for every door that's been opened.
Former Presidents Obama, Clinton, and Biden are all there, as well as legendary civil rights leaders and advocates.
We're so thankful that God gave us a legend who took flight and got to hear him say, "Well done."
Allison Keyes, CBS News.
2 people were killed when severe weather hit northwestern Oklahoma. Major County Sheriff Anthony Robinson says it was a woman and daughter in a car.
They had been on cellular phone with one of their family members and had lost connection. We believe that the vehicle was hit directly with a tornado.
More stormy weather expected in that part of the country again today. Wall Street, the Dow is down 535 points. This is CBS News.
Looking for spring jewelry looks? Find them at Jewelry Television. New customers get $20 off purchases of $99 or more at JTV.com.
Lots of movement on bills as the legislature enters the final days of the session. We'll give you the latest in just a moment. But first, the latest on traffic. KIRO Newsradio real-time traffic. And a little bit of a surprising snag on 520 westbound, right with the I-5 merge. There is a disabled vehicle blocking the right lane, and there's a very thick backup almost to the edge of the Arboretum there. Not quite on the bridge itself, but on the Arboretum side. And that's affecting that merge there with I-5. I-5 southbound, still a little bit of a challenge. It looks like a crash has been cleared, just kind of near the Haller Lake area, but it's still causing some slowing getting into Seattle. Linwood to Seattle, 29 minutes. Federal Way to Seattle is a cool 23 minutes. No big deal there. Renton to Bellevue was 12 minutes on 405. And not even any slowing through the S-curves. That's great. And Bothell to Bellevue coming in from the north end is 14 minutes. This report brought to you by the Seattle RV Show. Don't miss the Seattle RV Show, March 12th through 15th at Lumen Field Event Center. Shop over 400 new models for every budget and lifestyle. Get tickets at seattlervshow.com.
KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good morning, I'm Jillian Raftery. A bill that could allow the state to remove elected sheriffs from office appears to be headed to the governor's desk. The state house passed the measure early this morning after nearly 8 hours of debate. It was a party line vote, but a handful of Democrats joined nearly every Republican in voting no. That measure does have to go back to the Senate for approval of amendments.
A bill on the governor's desk now would ban employers from forcing workers to get microchip implants. This update from KIRO News Radio's Amanda Factor.
House Bill 2303 passed the state Senate unanimously this week. The bill bars employers from requesting, requiring, or pressuring employees to get chips implanted under their skin. Workers who are forced to could sue and recover damages. The bill's sponsor, Democratic Representative Brianna Thomas of Seattle, says it might sound like science fiction, but she says science moves fast and lawmakers wanted to protect workers before the technology becomes widespread. Medical devices like pacemakers are not affected. Governor Ferguson has not said yet whether he'll sign it. Amanda Factor, KIRO News Radio.
A poacher has been sentenced to more than 3.5 years in prison. Investigators say Robert Livermore has a history of animal abuse and illegal hunting going back 20 years. He was caught driving through a wildlife area with a spotlight on his car, firing indiscriminately into the woods whenever he saw something that looked like a deer. He also had a stockpile of homemade weapons in his Okanagan County home. Firefighters got to practice a very technical rope rescue on 2 huge dogs that got stuck down a cliff in West Seattle Thursday. Here's KIRO 7 TV's Jack Billu with that story.
Firefighters equipped with ropes and climbing gear and dog treats.
Treats.
Put it all on the line to rescue 2 beloved pets.
Fur baby mother's worst nightmare.
Linda Heimer, the owner of the 2 massive Leon burgers, says the dogs escaped from her backyard to chase a squirrel.
Here we go.
She says she spent 2 hours trying to coax them to a safe location.
21 firefighters, they were able to actually practice their routine on 120-pound dogs.
After about an hour, firefighters reunited Heimer with her dog.
Now we're going to get a quick check of the weather. 51 degrees is your high. It's going to stay rainy. 48 degrees right now in downtown Seattle. I'm Jillian Raftery for KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news, serving Western Washington and the world with a KIRO News Radio app. Always streaming live on your smart speakers. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
This is the Gee and Ursula Show with G. Scott and Ursula Reutin.
It is the Gee and Ursula Show. Good morning. Thank you for listening to the show. It is Fresh Fridays here. Angela Poe Russell is in for Ursula this week. Good morning to you, Angela.
Good morning, G. You having fun?
Oh, come on now. Very, very much so. Hey, we have a guest coming up at 10:33. Essex Porter, board member, Seattle Association of Black Journalists, is going to come in to chat about an exciting new event. He will be joining us coming up at 10:33. But right now, let's get to it, Angela. Let's get to what's new at 10.
Let's do it.
What's
Yesterday,
new at 10?
Yesterday, we broke the news during our show that Kristi Noem had been officially fired as Department of Homeland Security Secretary, reassigned. Effective immediately, Senator Markwayne Mullin from Oklahoma will step in at the end of the month. Noem is said to start a new role as special envoy for Shield of Americas. Now, there's been a lot of concern from lawmakers on Noem's performance prior to her removal from the role. It was just a day before it happened. According to the New York Times, Senator Blumenthal, a Democrat from Connecticut, said that he wants to pursue a perjury investigation for her testimony under oath, in which she said that Corey Lewandowski did not approve contracts for her agency. You recall, Corey is the guy that she's suspected of having an affair with, who is in this unpaid role, but allegedly signing contracts. She's saying that, well, she wouldn't confirm whether it's true that she was having the affair. Now, moments after the announcement of her removal, Noem appeared on stage in front of local law enforcement in Nashville, Tennessee. Even then, she appeared to be talking in circles.
You know, President Trump has been working hard to make sure that he's delivering on what he promised the American people, and that's to make America safe again. In doing so, we have gone out and found over 1,500 known and suspected terrorists that were let into this country over the open border invasion that we saw during the last administration. Beyond that, we've also arrested and removed over 7,700 gang members, TDA members, MS-13, Sinaloa cartel. The president is extremely focused on fighting cartels and recognize them as a foreign terrorist organization so that we can have new authorities to go after them. And we'll be working throughout the Western Hemisphere with all the countries to make sure that we're biting the snake off, cutting its head off with fighting the cartels before they ever reach the United States.
Gee, So what's your reaction? Because, we discussed it in real time yesterday. There's only so much information you have at your fingertips.
Sure.
But now, the dust is starting to settle or at least get stirred up. More information has come down. What's your reaction to it now?
Now that they have removed her from this position, it's like having an accident in your pants and going home and changing your shirt. And putting Mark Wayne Mullen in this situation is really a lot of the same thing. I just want to, before I continue, when this whole DEI discussion or DEI hire and this and that, when that was a big deal, was that a prank? Is this like a big joke? Because I get talking about DEI, you only got that job for this, but then I look at Mark Wayne Mullen. He is the only U.S. senator without a bachelor's degree. His highest is an associate in construction technology. He has no law degree, no law enforcement background, no national security experience, no security, intelligence, or emergency management skills. Do you guys know he is right now the director of Homeland Security? That doesn't scare anybody. This is crazy. As for Kristi Noem, she was let go not because of the disaster in Minnesota when she called the 2 people that were killed by ICE domestic terrorists, not because of the maybe supposed alleged affair with staffer that's on there that's getting paid, Chris Landowski. Not for the awfulness messages, the job that she's done. She got let go because right before the news came out, both you and I said it. She got let go because she was terrible under oath. And she said one thing that really made, according to sources, that really made Trump just be done, is they asked her, did the president okay you using the $220-something million for those ads across the country? Did he okay that? She was beating around the bush, and finally she said, yes, he okayed it. And that's why you got fired.
Facts.
That's
you nailed it.
That's why you got fired. So the next time, I just got to tell you, the next time somebody talks about DEI hires, from here on forth, my new thing, that's a Noem hire. That's a Noem hire right there. So every single time, if they become whatever politician, you get this job, oh, that's a Noem right there. This old Noem. Thank you for giving me this adjective. That's a Noem hire.
Gee, I'm joining the movement.
It's a Noem hire.
It is. I want to go back to one of the first points that you made about him not having a college degree. Because something you always say on the show, you're like, Angela, you've talked about it being a way to gatekeep. You've made clear that you don't have to have a college degree to have certain positions and to do certain work. So I want to make that clear that that's been your record. But you're bringing this up in this context. Expand on that.
I'm bringing it up because let me take the gloves off.
Oh,
I'm bringing it up because when black people get in positions and they get jobs, they call them DEI hires. And when black people are in situations when they are trying to do something, they have to be 2 to 3 times better. They have to be overqualified for these positions, right? And I'm just saying that, no, I don't. I actually do not believe that you need a college education to be good at your job. Now, if you're going to be an engineer, you're going to be a doctor, you're going to be a lawyer for those specific positions, yes, you need the continued education. But outside of that, 90% of jobs, I don't think that. It just bothers me so much that they use that criteria to gatekeep with certain fractions of the country than they do for everyone else. It's funny how they use it. Like, let me just say it again. Senator Mark Wayne Mullen is the only U.S. senator without a bachelor's degree. Now, let me be fair to Mark Wayne Mullen. Do I think he could be a U.S. senator without a college education? Yes, I do. I absolutely do. Now, you want to start talking about Department of Homeland Security? Come on, folks.
You need to have a deep understanding of the law and of government. And here's the deal. When you said he didn't have a college degree, I said, okay, I was waiting to hear the experiences that made him qualified. And then as you went through the list, I just didn't hear one.
It was a UFC fighter. He's tough. But again, I want to go back to it, though. I want to just, because you're right. Thank you for bringing that up. I am a big proponent. Like, I don't believe that. But I also want it, let's just make it fair for everyone. Don't have these, and if you're listening right now, have you ever been at a job and they told you, I would love to put you in that position, but, we're looking for a college education, or we're looking for a master's degree or more for you to get this position. So what happens is how many times have you known of people that had to go back to school just to be able to get some of these positions? All that is gatekeeping. That's it. So make it open for everyone. That's all I'm saying.
At the very least, you need experience for the job or some kind of skill set. And I'm just curious about what this person, Senator Mullen's experiences are that are going to help him succeed in this role. But I love what my takeaway from this. It's a gnome hire.
It's a gnome hire.
It's a gnome hire.
From here on out, book it, baby. And y'all going to get sick of it. But I'm saying from here on out, if I figure somebody out and you're not qualified for that spot, or you're doing a terrible job as a politician, oh, man, that was a gnome hire right there.
All right. Well, good news for Costco fans. You know, I love Costco. I know you love Costco. The Kirkland-based chain says they're going to be giving back any tariff refunds they receive back to their customers. Earlier this week, a federal judge ruled that companies who paid tariffs enacted under the International Emergency Economic Powers Act are owed refunds. Costco says whatever money they get back, they want to have flow into the people through lower prices and better values. Costco CEO Ron Vacris says the company has been actively taking steps to manage the impact of tariffs on the consumer. Hundreds of other companies are also suing the Trump administration to get their money back. Do you think other companies will take this back to the consumer approach, Gee?
If they got big pockets. Right? It's the big pockets. And so I hope these big dogs, the Costcos of the world, continue to do this, because by them doing this allows for some of these small companies to be able to do something like this. And by the way, in fairness to Donald Trump, this is where I will defend him. He told you guys in his campaign he was going to be doing this tariff stuff. As a matter of fact, a lot of the stuff that he is doing right now, he campaigned on it. So people use this, I didn't know he was going to do this. Yes, you did. That dude did not. The first time to me that he actually told the truth was during his last campaign. He told the most truth during that campaign. He told you he was going to do mass deportation. Check. He told you he was going to do tariffs. Check. He told you that he was going to, he messed up that he didn't make for the working class, but he making his friends rich. Check.
Have you noticed we haven't seen as much news about ICE activity lately? And I've been wondering if it's because we're leading up to the midterms.
Yes.
Because it wasn't popular the way it was being handled, the way the deportations were being handled, people being picked up who didn't have records.
Slowing down, ain't it? There's a reason. You know what I mean? They're trying to, they know them, because look, if the midterms don't go like they like, it's not just, the party taking over both sides of Congress. There's going to be some folks like Kristi Noem. You want the midterms to go your way, because if they don't, you might be back in Minnesota to answer some questions.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Because in Minnesota, there are still kids missing. Oh, by the way, that's a fact. Right now, there are still people that are missing that they don't understand where they are because of the deportation and all of that stuff and the access to ICE.
And Kristi Noem's handling of that wasn't enough to get her fired.
Yeah, so the midterms.
Okay, should I get to our next story really
Sure,
quick? Okay, Washington lawmakers are moving to ban what are known as pocket listings in real estate. According to the Linwood Times, the legislature has passed Senate Bill 6091, sponsored by State Senator Marco Lias of Edmonds. Forgive me if I mispronounced your name.
You got it.
The bill would stop brokers from quietly marketing homes only to select buyers or private networks. Supporters say those private deals limit competition and make the housing market less fair. Opponents argue it restricts how homeowners can choose to sell their own property. The measure passed the Senate 49-0 and the House 92-1, and now heads to Governor Bob Ferguson for signature. What's your take on this, G?
My take in the real estate market and everything, I can only just say what we've been used to and what we've seen over the years, right? I'm about to turn 50, and I know how things have been basically my whole life. And there's always been a whole bunch of unfairness, if you will. Right. And I'm always reminded of that when I drive through neighborhoods. Sometimes when I drive through Tacoma, and you can see how Tacoma is like all of a sudden you're driving. Oh, man, the neighborhood looks different. Right. Because we all know the covenants and what was in the deeds and everything. So, look, I just hope that things get better going forward. And I hope that there's less restrictions and more fairness and equity in this topic.
Okay, so I'm going to borrow from the AI prompt and say that I see your point and being concerned about, limiting competition and fairness, especially to certain groups. I see it differently, however.
Okay. Love it. What you got?
I am sick and tired of people telling me what I can do with my own property. That is my problem. I'm still reeling from the fact that Seattle made a rule that if you build a new home, that it can't be over this amount of square feet. So I know a person that they've had a home in Seattle forever, and they wanted to tear it down and update and basically build new. But the city's like, oh no, you can't have this much square footage. I'm like, but that's their property. Yeah. They own the land. Let them build what they want. So instead of building new, which would have been easier, they had to do a remodel. Way harder, way more expensive, believe it or not. Right. But I just get sick of that. So this feels that way to me in the sense that there are some people that they don't want to have to list their home and go through the whole marketing stuff. Sometimes if they work with a realtor privately, they can get a lower commission because the realtor's not having to do all the pictures and the this and the that. And contrary to popular belief, there is major negotiation that happens when you're dealing with a pocket listing. I mean, we didn't put the home that, I wouldn't say it was, all I can say is that I've had family members sell property without doing a listing, and you find someone who wants to buy it. It just can be a little bit easier that way. I understand the concern about limiting competition, but you have to strike a balance with when you want to tell me as the government what I should do with my property. Right. As long as you're not discriminating against anybody. It's different.
I will say this, and you guys can look this up here, and especially here in the state of Washington, ever since 2008, when we went through the recession on the federal level, that's when housing inventory slowed way down, the building of new construction, right? And we still have not caught up to that time. We are still slow here. The biggest problem that we have in this state, and it goes along with what you're talking about, all of the red tape, the bureaucracy centered around that, the slow of the permit, and you're trying to build here, and hey, can I do this? And the can I do this, the answer to can I do this takes a year. Like, this is the reason why we are all struggling and we have housing affordability.
I know. But listen, that's a head. What we can say, here's the positive news, even though we may not see eye to eye exactly on the pocket listing. Yeah. It appears that it was bipartisan. It looks like it was.
Yeah. Good stuff. Love the topics. Coming up next, Essex Porter, board member, Seattle Association of Black Journalists, will join the show next to talk about an exciting event. We'll do that next. Gee Ursula.
KIRO News Radio, the first place you turn for the news you trust.
Seattle's new mayor is laying out a big vision.
She offered few specifics.
Engaging conversation.
Has anybody noticed their electric bill? It's diabolical, Ursula.
And your Super Bowl champion Seahawks.
They are bringing the Lombardi back to the Northwest.
Streaming everywhere on the KIRO News Radio app. Always here, always with you. KIRO News Radio, 97.3 FM.
Hey everyone, Hartley Wilcox here. And I'm Charlie Wilcox from Wilcox Family Farms. Our family's been raising hens and gathering fresh eggs right here for over 100 years.
That's right. Our hens roam free on green pastures, soaking up the sunshine and living their best chicken lives.
We don't do shortcuts. No cages, no chemicals, just honest-to-goodness eggs laid fresh every day.
And when you buy Wilcox eggs, you're not just getting breakfast. You're supporting local farmers like us. Clean food, and a family that's been doing it right for generations.
So next time you're at the grocery store,
skip the out-of-state eggs and grab the ones with our name on them.
Wilcox Family Farms. Fresh, local, trusted. Find fresh Wilcox eggs at Safeway, Albertsons, or Town and Country Markets. And for a healthy snack on the go, grab some ready-to-eat hard-boiled eggs in a convenient to-go 2-pack. Wilcox Family Farms eggs, locally fresh since 1909.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack. Sure, you can post your job to some job board, but then all you can do is hope the right person comes along. Which is why you should try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter doesn't depend on candidates finding you. It finds them for you. Its powerful technology identifies people with the right experience and actively invites them to apply to your job. You get qualified candidates fast. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you what you're looking for. The needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/free.
ZipRecruiter. High five. Up top.
Dave's company just got the 5-year price lock guarantee from Comcast Business. Yeah! It's 5 years of gig speed internet, advanced security, and a great rate that won't change. All from the company with 99.9% network reliability.
Heck yeah!
He hasn't given this many high fives since Deborah brought in her famous banana bread.
Yes!
The Comcast Business 5-year price lock guarantee. Powering 5 years of savings, powering possibilities.
And it's hurting, but I am not stopping.
Woo! For a limited time, now through March 29th, switch to Comcast Business to lock in your rate for 5 years and get a $500 prepaid card on a qualifying gig bundle. Or ask how to get started with 150 megabit internet and Security Edge for $59.99 a month for 12 months with a 2-year agreement. Don't wait. Call today. Restrictions apply. New customers only. 1-year contract required for guaranteed rate. Paperless billing and automatic payments with bank account required. 5-year pricing applies to monthly service charge excluding taxes and fees.
Dr. Mark Wagner has performed over 20,000 stem cell procedures, including mine, at Seattle Sports Regenerative Medicine. And we've interviewed over 100 of Dr. Wagner's patients, and we hear the same things. It changed my life. I'm back to doing the activities I love without pain. It really works. It's remarkable.
We love helping people get back to living life to the fullest and doing the things they enjoy most.
They also must really enjoy not having the pain and recovery time with surgery.
Stem cell therapy is a 60-minute, non-surgical, minimally invasive procedure to eliminate pain, regenerate cartilage, treat tendon and ligament tears, osteoarthritis, and chronic tendonitis.
And you only use the patient's own stem cells.
That's right, their body's own stem cells.
So whether it's a hip like me, an elbow, shoulder, or knee.
Don't forget ankles, wrists, and thumbs.
Yep, those patients too. Before choosing surgery, see Dr. Mark Wagner, MD first. Learn more at drmarkwagnermd.com.
I'm here with Wes Jones of sellwithwes.com. And Wes, you were just telling me you think 2026 is going to be a rebound year for the housing market.
That's right. I think we're heading into the best real estate market of the past 4 years. And here's why. If you take a step back and look at the big picture, experts are anticipating a 15% increase in sales volume next year. Interest rates are at near 3-year lows and trending down, and home prices have held near all-time highs. There is a lot of pent-up demand. People have been sitting on the sidelines waiting waiting for their time to jump into the market since 2022, and they need a place to buy.
So, hey, 2026 might be your year. If you're considering selling your home, if you're thinking about moving, but there was something that was just holding you back, now might be a great time. So do this. Go to sellwithwes.com. You can see your home's real value there with Wes's home value calculator. Then schedule an appointment by giving him a call. Sellwithwes.com. Sellwithwes.com. It really just is a better way to sell your home.
Carter Subaru is Seattle's only Subaru dealer with the largest selection of Subarus in Washington. With over 800 vehicles in stock, they have exactly what you're looking for with savings you'll love. Visit Carter Subaru in Shoreline and Ballard or anytime at cartersubaru.com.
The Albert Lee Appliance Clearance Center, now open in Kent. Enjoy warehouse sale pricing year-round. Save up to 70% on closeout, scratch and dents, overstock, and floor models. First come, first serve savings on all kitchen and laundry products restocked daily. Thermador, Fisher & Paykel, Samsung, Whirlpool, GE Profile, and Cafe, plus many more. Bring a truck and U-Haul to maximize savings. The Albert Lee Appliance Clearance Center in Kent. Visit albertlee.biz for details.
KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good morning. I'm Jillian Raftery. Russia is providing intelligence on U.S. positions to Iran. 3 sources, including a U.S. official with direct knowledge, confirmed that to CBS News. Meanwhile, the bombs keep flying in the Middle East. Here's CBS's Eleanor Watson reporting from the Pentagon.
Sounds like the military is now not just focused on destroying Iran's current missiles and launchers, but focusing on not allowing them to make any more missiles. Admiral Cooper, in a briefing yesterday, said that the next phase will focus on leveling or raising Iran's ballistic missile production.
After criticism, the Department of Justice released files in the Epstein case involving an uncorroborated accusation made by a woman against President Donald Trump.
The department said those files, documenting a series of interviews conducted in 2019 with a woman who made an allegation against Trump, had been mistakenly withheld during an earlier review. The accuser was interviewed by the FBI 4 times, but a summary of only one of those interviews had previously been included in released files. Yesterday, the Justice Department said those withheld files had been incorrectly coded as duplicates and were not published along with other documents. Steve Kathan, CBS News.
Meanwhile, the House Oversight Committee has voted to subpoena Attorney General Pam Bondi over her handling of the Epstein files. Today in Chicago, the life of civil rights icon Reverend Jesse Jackson Sr. is being celebrated at the House of Hope in Chicago. Thousands have gathered, including former Presidents Barack Obama, Joe Biden, and Bill Clinton. Here at home, not easy to go around Bothell and Woodinville this weekend. 405 going to be closed in both directions near SR 522 from 6 p.m. Saturday night to 4 a.m. Monday.
We really are expecting there to be delays of up to an hour, really at peak times, as people are trying to navigate through here.
State Transportation spokesperson Lauren Penning says they're removing a ramp that crosses that freeway. Now let's get a check on today's drive. And we're speed limit drive almost anywhere you want to go. I-5 southbound still slowing into downtown Seattle from the north end. Linwood to Seattle is about 34 minutes. And we got a new issue. 509 southbound, just north of Cloverdale Street. There is a collision blocking the HOV lane, but I don't see much slowing there. This report brought to you by Subaru Puyallup. Visit Subaru Puyallup for friendly experts, transparent pricing, genuine care, and savings during the Subaru A Lot to Love event through March 31st. SubaruPuyallup.com. Going to stay rainy and cool. 51 degrees is your high for today. It's 48 right now in downtown Seattle. I'm Jillian Raftery for KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
Good morning, everybody. It is the Gee and Ursula Show. Happy Fresh Fridays to all of you. Coming up at 10:47, it will be time for scenarios. But right now, we have a guest.
Yes, let me set this up for you. March is Women's History Month. Next weekend, the Seattle Association of Black Journalists is producing an event to highlight a trailblazing woman who made history in aviation. And I happen to be part of this. Essex Porter, veteran journalist, icon. Many of you maybe watched him on KIRO 7. He joins us now to talk about this event. Essex, good morning.
Good morning to you, Angela. You are so modest there in describing, I'm a part of it. You are at the core of this event. A lot of you on the radio who see Angela on television know her in her many, many journalistic roles, all pretty mainstream. But there's a particular story that Angela has decided to tell and expand her genres of journalism to do it. Angela has written a musical. The musical is about Bessie Coleman, a groundbreaking, trailblazing Black and Native American woman who got a pilot's license at a time when women didn't get pilot's license, and certainly not women of color got pilot's
Yeah, they weren't
licenses.
allowed. Like it was simply off limits.
Wait, women weren't allowed to have a pilot license?
You weren't allowed to go to aviation school.
Women, they just weren't allowed to go.
You were not allowed. No, you were not allowed. And so imagine her saying, I want to fly. And the schools are like, we don't take women. So this was before Amelia Earhart, before, So Essex, what I'm curious about is so this event is going to, let me just set this up and then I'll take it to you, Essex. So my musical comes out in May about Bessie Coleman. And so Essex and this SABJ team wanted to have an event in March to highlight the story behind it and to preview the musical, have a couple songs. Essex, why did you want to do this? Like, why was this important for you to do?
As a group, one of the things we want to do is to reach out to the entire community. We have some programs that are really for journalists, but we wanted to do something that would connect with the entire community because, that's what we do as Black journalists. We connect community to everyone who may need to know about something, who may need to try to influence the outcome of a decision or a policy. So we wanted to let the community know that we as Black journalists are also there for them. They can reach out to us. We try to listen to them and bring their stories to everyone. And this story is just an incredible story. One of the other things we wanted to do is, there is so much that weighs on us these days. It is easy to be cynical. And what we saw, what you were doing, Angela, was a way to break through the barriers of cynicism and, again, help us become the kind of people who want to seek the truth and share it with others. And seeking the truth doesn't mean just writing it down or doing a TV story or a radio story. Your musical is a different way of seeking and telling the truth.
We're joined here by Essex Porter here on the Gee and Ursula Show, board member, Seattle Association of Black Journalists, and just someone who I've had a chance to look to and look up to for many years. So what do you miss about being full-time in the media space, Essex?
And first, Gee, let me say it's an honor to be on this program with you and glad to see you doing so well. And a shout out also to my friend Jillian Raftery, who I worked with at KIRO 7 and is just a fabulous person. You guys are so lucky to have her back at KIRO Radio. So, what do I miss? One of the reasons I got into journalism in the first place, basically as a teenager, was to be the kind of person who got to be a firsthand witness to history. And I got to do that a number of times in my career. I just happened to be working the Sunday that Mount St. Helens erupted, was one of the first people in a helicopter above that erupting mountain. I covered a number of events in my time here. So I miss being a personal witness to the first draft of history. On the other hand, those of us in broadcasting know that the deadlines are continuous and they are crushing and they are unforgiving. The 5 o'clock news starts at 4:59 and you had better be ready. I don't miss that.
What do you remember most about that day? What's the first thing comes to your mind about when Mount St. Helens and you said you were above in the helicopter? What stands out to you about that day?
Well, of course, just how incredible it was to see that huge plume of ash. But one of the things I always will remember is that was a beautiful day in Southwest Washington, beautiful clear skies. There had been a lot of people, because of the red zone and the blue zone, trying to keep people safe. They were very angry that they could not easily get to their cabins near Mount St. Helens. The Sheriff's Department had noted that weekend the weather was clear, so that was a requirement. The mountain was not rumbling. There's no ash, there were no earthquakes. So Saturday, folks went up to go to their cabins. I tried to get there with them, but I ran out of time and had to turn back. So on Sunday, it was a beautiful day. My assignment editor called the Sheriff's Department there, and I said, "Are you still taking people up today?" He says, "Yes, it's all looking great." I'm not sure it was even 10 minutes later that the phones began to light up in the newsroom there in Portland. And people were saying, "Did you hear that boom? What's that smoke?" And it turned out the mountain had simply exploded. It just surprised everybody. It was a day when nothing was supposed to happen, and it was going to be safe enough to take people to their cabins.
I want to tell you all a quick story about Essex. You want to know who he really is. So I was new to Seattle, and I was anchoring the evening news. Essex was the politics reporter. And the biggest interview of my life, I mean, when you're the anchor, sometimes you get these big interviews.
Mhm.
And so Essex is out there doing the daily work, and I get this big interview with President Obama. And, you know, you could easily see someone who's a political reporter saying, "Well, dang it, that should have been my interview." And you know what Essex did?
What did he do?
He said, "Let me help you." And he sent me an email with insights, notes, just a playbook of just saying, "Hey, here's what I know. Here's my expertise, and good luck." Wow. That's Essex. And so for him, you know, he'll tell you like this event, it's not about promoting me. It's not about necessarily promoting the show, but being able to make sure that we share our stories. You know, this event is open to everybody, no matter your background. And I just really appreciate Essex, the community that you've built around this.
Oh, wow. Thank you very much, Angela. Let me be sure that everybody's clear about how to attend this event. So this is coming up on Saturday, March 14th. It's 4:30 to 6:30. It is at the Northwest African American Museum in Seattle. We are selling tickets. Tickets are for sale. Just go to our SABJ website. It's simply sabjonline.org, sabjonline.org. You'll find a page where you can click and get tickets. And because International Women's Day is coming up on Sunday, we have just discounted the tickets. You buy one, you get one free. Also, tickets are free to young people, age 18 and younger.
I love that.
So this is very open to community.
Yeah, and Deborah Horn is interviewing me. And Deborah
nice.
Horn is interviewing me, which I can't believe.
Essex, before you go, sir, I just want you to know, you got me trained on something. You want to know what that is?
What is it?
Every single time something big happens, and that there's a connection to the Pacific Northwest, I always say in my Essex voice, every big story has a Pacific Northwest connection. That's your words, man.
Well, actually a famous KIRO 7 assignment manager coined that term. I didn't believe it at first, but within a couple of weeks, I was a true believer. And I like to have a little fun with that. My online social media, I'm on X and Blue Sky and Instagram. And it's unbelievable how many stories, when you look, are truly, truly connected to the Pacific Northwest.
Thank you, Essex Porter. We appreciate you, sir. Thank you for coming on.
I love him.
Thank you very much for letting us tell everybody about this.
No doubt. Hey, coming up next on the Gee Ursula Show, it's time for scenarios.
Sometimes we hang on to our old attorneys and coaches too long. They've been around, they've done good work. But when the legal game changes, you need a team that is hungry to win now. At Bible Law Group, we're that faster, hard-hitting legal team, ready to fight for every inch in the courtroom. With over 40 million closed for our clients, we know how to win, and we're ready to take on the biggest legal case of your career with you. Don't stick with a playbook that's gone stale. Switch to the legal team that's ready to win now. Let Bible Law Group be your linebacker in the courtroom. Find us online at BibleLawGroup.com.
The team that gave me back my full head of hair, Advanced Hair, is once again the winner of the 425 Business of the Year. Dr. Perungo and his world-class team begin regrowing your own natural hair the very next day. And Advanced Hair guarantees your new hair will grow, just like they did for me. Find out why Advanced Hair is the best of the best. With your free consultation, you'll receive $250 off and 250 free hair grafts. 425-449-8185 or advancedhair.com.
So my friends over at Pure Talk have been sending me customer feedback from consumeraffairs.com, where thousands of people rate and review the top wireless providers. Here, for instance, is a nice note from James in Raleigh, North Carolina, who writes, quote, "After hearing Mike Rowe's ad, we made the switch to Pure Talk, and we couldn't be happier. We went from spending $1,200 a year with T-Mobile to $420 with Pure Talk. Thanks, Mike. Switch today! Exclamation point. Pure Talk is saving James $820 a year. And because he literally wrote the words switch today in capital letters with an exclamation point, I'm going to go ahead and dedicate this commercial to him. So folks, take it from James in Raleigh, North Carolina. Pure Talk can give you unlimited talk, text, and plenty of data for just $25 a month on the same 5G service the big guys are overcharging you for. Just dial pound 250, say Mike Rowe. You'll also save 50% off your first month. That's pound 250 to save an additional 50%. Thanks, James.
Yikey wawa.
What?
My hot water.
Yeah?
Not so hot.
Water heater trouble?
It's not working.
We can fix that.
This week?
How about today?
Apollo Plumbing really is ready right now.
Especially when it comes to water heater replacement.
Think I need a new one?
Is it more than 10 years old?
It is.
Probably so.
Doesn't heat like it used to.
It runs out?
All the time.
That's a warning sign.
Uh-oh.
So are little leaks.
But Apollo can get me a new one?
Installed today by our clean screen trained and trusted plumbers. They're water heater experts.
But I probably got to pay a rush fee.
No extra charge.
You make this too easy.
We'll even haul off the old one.
A new water heater.
Same day. That's the Apollo Plumbing way.
This is going to get my budget in hot water.
Got you covered there too.
How?
Our available payment plans.
I don't have to wait?
Or take cold showers.
You are a lifesaver.
Call us this morning. You'll have hot water today.
That's the Apollo Plumbing way.
ApolloPlumbing.com.
Guys, did you know your testosterone level impacts your energy, libido, sleep, weight, hair loss, mood, and even ED? And right now, Revive Men's Health Seattle will check your testosterone for free. They've helped thousands of men since 2011 feel and perform better. They're so confident they can help you, they even guarantee it. Schedule your free testosterone test, exam, and consultation today. Call 206-529-1111. That's 206-529-1111. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
Hey everyone, Hartley Wilcox here. And I'm Charlie Wilcox from Wilcox Family Farms. Our family's been raising hens and gathering fresh eggs right here for over 100 years.
That's right. Our hens roam free on green pastures, soaking up the sunshine and living their best chicken lives.
We don't do shortcuts. No cages, no chemicals, just honest-to-goodness eggs laid fresh every day.
And when you buy Wilcox eggs, you're not just getting breakfast. You're supporting local farmers like us. Clean food, and a family that's been doing it right for generations.
So next time you're at the grocery store,
skip the out-of-state eggs and grab the ones with our name on them.
Wilcox Family Farms. Fresh, local, trusted. Find fresh Wilcox eggs at Fred Meyer, QFC, or Amazon Fresh. And for a healthy snack on the go, grab some ready-to-eat hard-boiled eggs in a convenient to-go 2-pack. Wilcox Family Farms eggs, locally fresh since 1909.
John Curley here. Last year was one of the hottest on record. Did you know a heat pump from Home Comfort Alliance gives you efficient heating and cooling year-round for the price of paying for air conditioning? Don't wait. Call the comfort people. Home Comfort Alliance. HomeComfortAlliance.com.
Nearly half the homes in Western Washington are not properly insulated or not insulated at all. Sound like your home? Then call for your free inspection.
InsulationNorthwest.com.
It is the Gee and Ursula Show. Good morning to all of you. Now let's get into scenarios.
Here we go, yo. So what's the scenario?
My partner tells me Saturday night that they're going out with their friends. They say it's a no couples night, just the crew hanging out. Cool. I'm good with that. Go have fun. Now, later on, I'm coming to find out that they went out, and I see the pictures, and I'm scrolling through, and guess what? There were couples there at the party. Now, I'm seeing that there's couples there, and I'm trying to wonder what happened. So the next day, I brought it up. I wasn't yelling. I was just simply asking a question, and my partner kind of flipped out on me. They said, "Why are you stalking my socials?" I wasn't stalking the socials. I just looked. I mean, I follow her on IG. I look, I see the pictures that clearly that there was no couple supposed to be there. And I look and I see that there are couples. So I'm sitting here wondering something. Was it a no couples night or was it just a no me night? Your thoughts. Am I tripping? Or does this sound a little shady to y'all? 888-973-5476 is Muckleshoot Casino Resort text line. You have the bat first, Angela.
It is shady. It was a no you night, and you should absolutely consider moving on. And here's why. I'm going to point to you exactly why. I have had it happen where I tell my husband, like, hey, this is I'm going alone. This is more of a singles thing. And then I get there and there are couples there, and I'll come home like, man, there were other couples there. You could have come, that kind of thing. The tell for me when something was up was when he brought it up, she flipped out. If you were innocent, you would not need to flip out. You would have explained it when you came home. So the fact that she did that, I think there's something up, and he should listen to that and take the necessary steps.
Was it last weekend? Just recently. When was Cirque du Soleil? When was that?
Ooh, about three. I think it's still going on, but it started about 3 weeks ago.
Wait, it's not still going on. Please tell me it's not. Because I had a situation where I had an event, and of course, for this event, I mean, I don't really bring my wife to events, so I go work. Mm-hmm. But this specific situation where I was going out and I could have brought my wife. And then not only could I have brought her, I was actually close to Marymoor, Cirque du Soleil, and we could have knocked that whole thing out. So the whole time I was rolling. Sometimes it does happen by mistake. I agree with you on this story. The fact that they flipped out and said, "Why are you stalking my socials?" Now that's a red flag. Everything was cool, understandable. You can explain that like, "Oh, hey, I went out and come to find out they brought couples." Duh. That's it.
Yeah. And by the way, Cirque du Soleil going on till March 22nd.
It is?
Yeah, so you still can go. It's pretty cool.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you for telling me that. Sophia, what do you got?
Yeah, the first thing that came to my mind was like, I just think their friends doesn't if your friends don't like your partner, like maybe if the partner's really sensitive, they're like, I don't know how to tell you, like you don't mesh with the crew, you don't mesh with the vibe. And that's kind of what I was thinking, that like maybe they got weird about it because they didn't want to be offensive and be like, well, you weren't invited because nobody likes you.
Has that happened in your friend groups?
There are definitely situations where it's like, listen, I know he's your man, but he's not any of our, and none of us really vibe with him in the same way. Or it's insinuated. Maybe they don't say it out blatantly. Or maybe your partner says things that you don't like in front of your friends, and maybe that's something else you need to unpack, but you just don't want them there with the vibe.
Can relationships make it if the friends don't like the person?
Depends on how real the friends are.
Well, you know what? I think this is one of, I think that this is one of those, an age thing. You know what I mean? Because I think in your 20s and stuff like that, and 30s, it actually matters what your friend thinks about your significant other. And then when you get older, like, first of all, you might not even be a friend that long. So ain't no telling. So no, I don't think it matters. Does it matter to you?
I think it's important. I think relationships have a better chance of success if the friends sign off and the family signs off, assuming they're healthy and not jealous. That's the key thing. If you don't have healthy...
Good for you. I don't have a healthy family.
Yeah, I genuinely have relatives that I think are for me, and I do feel very blessed about that. Yeah.
All right. Nick, what do you got, man?
I think this was just a failed attempt to be avoiding a certain person from joining the fun with the rest of the gang, because at this point, it feels like an excuse to just say no couples while they go against their own rule of theirs. So you can't be mad if they, quote, stalk the photos the next day when they're just trying to figure out what was going on. Make it clear with them if the rule is what you really wanted, or maybe it was just a workaround you're playing with to keep them out of the zone. You're just playing with them and going for weird games at this point. At this point, if I'm the one who was left out, find a different group to hang out with, or just, don't talk to them anymore. Or maybe just find out why they even did that in the first place, because this is weird to me.
Nice. Kevin in the 206 says, almost 18 years of marriage, and my friends are starting to finally come around to my wife.
Dang, Kevin.
You know what? That's another topic we're going to agree to disagree on. I really don't think that your relationship, like friends and family, have to necessarily sign off. But I think it's subjective.
I think it is. Like I said, for me, the key is assuming they are friends that really want the best for you and are healthy. Yeah. Like everyone's struggling, right? But you know what I mean. But you know, they're not the petty, like secretly hating behind your back friends.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. What are we doing at 11 o'clock? I'm just looking right here.
A little of this, a little of that.
A little of that. We got some things that are coming down the docket right now. So.
Okay. We do that next here on the show. Gee Ursula.
KIRO Newsradio, where you turn for the news you depend on.
Two competing budget proposals. Senators want to be aggressive, they say.
Traffic.
We have a stall on westbound 16.
Conversation.
If they pass this thing and Governor Ferguson signs it into law, I think there's going to be a mass political sea change in Washington State.
And your Super Bowl champion Seahawks.
They're bringing it home again.
Broadcasting live from the KIRO Newsradio YouTube channel. KIRO Newsradio 97.3 FM. KIRO FM and HD1 Tacoma, Seattle.
What if you could have the most reliable fiber-powered Wi-Fi? And get this, what if you could keep it at the same price for 5 years? That's the Xfinity 5-year price guarantee. 5 years of Wi-Fi that boosts speeds to the devices that need them most, that finds and fixes problems before you even notice them, like super intelligent Wi-Fi with a 6th sense, and that keeps you gaming in the fast lane, even when the whole family is banking on bandwidth. All your devices working in perfect harmony for 5 whole years. And here's the best part. No annual contracts, no hidden fees, and our best equipment included.
Plus, get online in no time with same-day Wi-Fi.
Hey, let's face it, a lot can change in 5 years. Kids grow taller, dreams grow bigger, but your Wi-Fi, it would stay reliable and the price would stay put. The Xfinity 5-year price guarantee. Lock in your price and unlock the possibilities. Xfinity. Imagine that.
Select plans only. Restrictions apply. Most reliable Wi-Fi based on Open Signal Awards USA Fixed Broadband Experience Report, May 2025. Actual speeds vary. Xfinity Internet powered by fiber and connected to the premises by coaxial cable.
Hair Volume from New Nordic will make your hair look thick and healthy. Hair Volume is available online at Amazon and newnordicusa.com or in the hair care aisle at your local CVS.
Jen, I didn't know you shopped here.
Hey, I'm hunting for something fresh for spring.
Oh, girl, skip them all. Jewelry Television has the best spring looks right now.
JTV, way ahead of you. Just hit up JTV.com yesterday. Scored the cutest clover earrings, 2 tennis bracelets, and this gorgeous pearl ring.
Right now, new customers get $20 off any purchase of $99 or more at JTV.com.
Oh, and gold hoops and this turquoise bracelet.
Just a couple things, huh?
Maybe more than a couple.
My name is Whitney Allen, and I'm a widow. My husband, Ryan, died. We never thought we'd ever have to use life insurance, but the unexpected happened. With Ethos, signing up was fast and 100% online. You can get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. No medical exams, and you can get up to $3 million worth of coverage. I'm grateful we were prepared.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/radio. That's ethos.com/radio. Paid spokesperson. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
1-877 Cards for Kids. KARS Cards for Kids. 1-877 Cards for Kids. Donate your card today.
1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids.
1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Ready to get rid of that old car? Donate it to Cars for Kids. Call 877 Cars for Kids to speak to a friendly live agent. Donation is super easy, and your car can be picked up as soon as tomorrow. Go to carsforkids.org now or call 877 Cars for Kids to donate your car today.
1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids.
Did you know you can donate real estate too? Go to carsforkids.org. That's cars with a K.
Eric Johnson here. I covered a lot of accidents over the past 30 years or so, but I never got to say much about what to do after a crash. Be honest, do you know what evidence to collect, what pictures to take, what documents to request, or what you shouldn't say to your insurance company? The Washington Accident Book Series is a must-have for drivers who want to be prepared for whatever the roads throw at them. Know your rights and how to avoid common mistakes after an accident by getting your free copy at WashingtonAccidentBooks.com.
Your best source for local news. KIRO Newsradio, KIRO FM and HD1, Tacoma, Seattle, Northwest News.
This is CBS News on the Hour, your home for original reporting.
I'm Jennifer Kuiper. Administration officials have confirmed Russia has been providing intelligence to Iran to help it target U.S. forces. CBS's Linda Kenyon has the latest.
Russia has been providing Iran with the locations of U.S. military assets, including U.S. warships and aircraft, taking an indirect role in the U.S.-led war against Iran. White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt was asked if this will hamper U.S. efforts to broker a peace deal that could end Russia's war against Ukraine.
It's something this administration still wants to see and something I know the president will continue to work on.
Secretary Leavitt did not comment on whether President Trump has expressed frustration to Russia's President Putin over the intel sharing with Iran. Linda Kenyon, CBS News, Washington.
More Americans are making their way back to the U.S. after evacuating from the Middle East. Robert Montgomery was working in Abu Dhabi and managed to book an Etihad Airways flight to Washington Dulles Airport.
As Americans, it was time to get out. So we were able to we will go back, but once things calm down.
Tears and laughter in Chicago today as a room full of activists, pastors, and former presidents honor the late Reverend Jesse Jackson Sr. CBS's Allison Keyes reports.
The House of Hope on Chicago's South Side is rocking with the emotion of those recalling the heart, commitment, and power of Reverend Jesse Jackson Sr. Rabbi Stephen Jacobs told the massive crowd,
God will welcome him with this greeting. Oh my God, you're Jesse Jackson.
And then would say, you are somebody, one of Jackson's signature phrases that inspires people to this day. Allison Keyes, CBS News.
Today's government report shows the economy shed 92,000 jobs last month, while the unemployment rate rose to 4.4%. According to CBS's Kelly O'Grady,
manufacturing lost 12,000 jobs, transportation and warehousing, 11,000 construction, 11,000 down as well. So the losses were across a number of different industries. There were actually very few where we saw gains, retail and financial activities being two that were at least some bright spots.
Two separate rear-view camera issues are prompting a big recall at Ford. WWJ's Jeff Gilbert explains.
All totaled, 1.75 million vehicles are involved, but no accidents or injuries have been reported. The Ford Explorer and Escape and Lincoln Aviator and Corsair have an issue that can cause the rear image to flip. The image can completely go out on the Ford Bronco and Edge.
Ford is still working on a fix, which is expected to involve a software update. Stocks right now on Wall Street are down. The price of oil continues to surge amid growing concerns that the Iran war will disrupt global crude supplies. Oil right now is up over almost 13%. This is...
I want to know what's going on in the world.
I'm Tony.
There are big questions that all of us are asking. I want to get you the answers.
How are you?
I'm Tony DeCopel. Join me on the CBS Evening News.
Breaking news out of Olympia, we'll tell you in just a minute. But first, KIRO News Radio real-time traffic. And we are mostly doing great all around the region. The only issue is getting into and out of Seattle. I-5 from Federal Way to Seattle's 26 minutes. A little bit of a snag there on the I-5 northbound on-ramp from South Albro Place. There's a collision blocking the right lane there. And on 509 southbound, just north of South Cloverdale Street, there's a collision blocking the HOV lane. That is an isolated delay. Linwood to Seattle in the southbound direction is about 30 minutes. This report brought to you by KIRO News Radio.
KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good morning, I'm Jillian Raftery, and we have breaking news from Olympia. Governor Bob Ferguson says he will sign a newly revised millionaire's tax bill. A new amendment guarantees more money back to Washington families and small businesses, expanding the working families tax credit and adding free school meals for all students. The plan also exempts over-the-counter medicines from sales tax and boosts child care funding. Just 2 days ago, it looked like lawmakers might run out of time for a deal on that issue. Up against the last days of the session, the State House adjourned after almost 8 hours of debate overnight.
The consent of the House will now adjourn until nearly 8 hours from now at 9:30 a.m., Friday, March 6th. The 54th legislative day. You can go to sleep here and get a full 8 hours in if you'd like. Hearing no objections, so ordered.
The House approved a measure which would create a way for a state commission to remove elected sheriffs. After all that debate, the bill now goes back to the Senate for approval. Another bill would ban companies from forcing employees to get microchips implanted under their skin. That measure is now headed for the governor's desk. A state lawmaker is standing by an offensive comment he made during debate over a bill this week that would end a program for developmentally disabled people with violent histories. Republican Senator Leonard Christian said the R word and got a warning from Lieutenant Governor Denny Heck.
Language, Senator Christian. Language.
Thank you, Mr. President. I guess I needed that list of words I cannot say. That would be very helpful.
The GOP Senate leader did issue an apology on Thursday, and Christian may now face discipline. Some good news for gamers. Microsoft is squashing rumors they'd be moving away from the Xbox console. The company's new gaming CEO announced their new Project Helix coming up. It will be compatible with both Xbox games and PC games. The man who created Seattle's beloved pink tow truck has died. Ed Lincoln passed away last month at the age of 84. He built Lincoln Towing into one of the most recognized towing companies in the Pacific Northwest. Now your weather report. Cloudy with rain likely later today, a high of 51. Spotty showers for Saturday and a high of 54. It's 48 degrees right now in downtown Seattle. I'm Jillian Raftery for KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news, serving Western Washington and the world with a KIRO News Radio app. Always streaming live on your smart speakers. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
This is the Gee and Ursula Show with G. Scott and Ursula Reutin.
It is the Gee and Ursula Show. Happy Fresh Fridays to all of you. Angela Poe Russell is in for Ursula. Good morning, Angela.
Good morning. I tell you, this has been an amazing Fresh Fridays.
It's
like I said that there?
I like how you
plural.
did that. I like how you did that. Sophia's here. Good morning, Sophia.
Good morning.
And then we got Nick here.
Yo,
Now,
what's up?
you know what's crazy?
Huh.
Sophia has been, like, this has been her whole thing. Like, she's like, we need to have more fun. We need to have more fun. Have you even feel like it's been heavy, Sophia?
I think we've had a good balance. All I was saying this morning, and I was like, we need to sprinkle in some fun because it is Fresh Fridays. You gotta have fun.
All right, here we go.
You know.
And speaking of, before we get to the show, Kara, the cleaning lady, just texted me. Listen to what she says. Gee, so yesterday I get a text from my aunt. She listens to the show all the time. By the way, her aunt is Auntie Barb. And I have to tell you, she never agrees with you. But you know what? She texted me yesterday. She did say, did you hear G talking about cottage cheese and ground turkey? I said, yeah, I heard about that. She goes, it's pretty good. So, Auntie Barb, you mean to tell me the only time you've agreed with me is talking about cottage cheese and ground turkey? By the way, it is good. All right, good stuff.
I feel like that's a lie.
Thank you for listening to the show, Auntie Barb. That means you're going to have to text in and tell me when you do agree with me. All right, let's get to the show because, of course, we got a lot to go over. Let's go.
Yes.
Top stories at 11.
On the Gee and Ursula Show.
All right, you heard the breaking news a few moments ago from Jillian Raftery, and we want to talk about it. Governor Ferguson officially saying that he's going to sign that newly revised millionaire's tax bill. He said the big thing here is he wanted to make sure the revenue goes back to Washington families, small business owners, so that they can make so that money can be used to make life affordable. He also talked about expanding eligibility for the working families tax credit. So it seems like qualifying families will get a check from the state between $300 and $1,300. Also, this is breaking news, so I'm getting all this in now. With this new revision, 460,000 additional households will be eligible for that tax credit. How are you feeling about the likelihood of this passing and with the money being used to go to folks who aren't as fortunate?
Okay, well, let me just say this. For years, the state of Washington has had one of the most upside-down tax systems in America. It is one of the most regressively taxed state. Folks making the least amount of money often have to pay the highest share of their income in taxes. First, before we keep going, is that true or false?
That's true.
Okay.
That's just facts. That's not an opinion.
Okay, all right.
That's not an opinion. It's true.
While the wealthiest residents in our state pay the lowest percentage of their income. Is that true?
That's true.
Okay. So this is a situation where we're asking the people who benefit the most from this economy here in the state of Washington to contribute more. So I know that there are people that will make less than $1 million this year be really upset with my take right now. I apologize to you. I apologize to everybody making less than $1 million a year. I apologize. But if that additional revenue has an opportunity to help fund schools, childcare, housing, infrastructure, to help small businesses, if that happens, great. I'm sure that there's some people that don't trust that would happen. And you know what? If you have that opinion, I totally understand that too. We have been constantly talking about all week why people don't trust government. I believe you cannot trust government and also try to do something about this upside down tax system at the same time. Both things can be true. What do you think?
I have questions. What will be the consequences of this? It sounds like we do know that I shouldn't say, I hate to use that term, so political, that some small businesses and some people who, let's say, make under a certain amount of money will get a credit. So we know that impact. What will the consequence be in terms of new business, in terms of revenue coming in, because people decide, you know what, I'm going to live 6 months in a day somewhere else, so I don't have to pay this tax, because this isn't the only one. I mean, last year they did the capital gains. I mean, there have been all these taxes meant to target people who make more.
Sure.
And while this is happening, there are other states that are in the process of cutting taxes for millionaires as a strategy to get them to do business in their state. So it's a really tricky thing. I mean, you have states like New York, California, New Jersey that have these higher taxes for people who make more money. Ours is, going to be close to 10%. Mm-hmm. And so while we're doing this, if other states are saying, hey, come here, we're actually cutting your taxes, do we just say, yeah, don't let the door hit you where it came from?
I don't know. The thing here's the thing. I'm not saying that I'm an expert. Mm-hmm. I'm not saying that what's going to be the consequences. I don't know.
Yeah.
But I tell you what I'm tired of talking about. I'm tired of continuously talking about a fact that I started off with. And that fact was that in this state, the people making the least amount of money pay the highest proportion of their income in taxes. So what about that consequence? What about the consequences of that? Do we not care about that consequence? So if we say, yes, G, we care about that consequence. Okay.
Of course. Yeah.
Of course
absolutely.
we do. So this next consequence, is the consequence going to be people are going to be like, okay, I'm leaving, I'm moving? I don't know. Maybe.
Yeah. It'll be interesting to see the states that have cut taxes for higher income earners, Arizona, Georgia, Idaho, Iowa, Louisiana, Mississippi, Ohio. I mean, and that's just
I will say, because, I know on this topic I can sound a little harsh. I will say this. I think the 9%, and like I said, I don't make $1 million a year, but I think the 9%, almost 10%, is a little harsh. They could at least started like a little something. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. They could have went 3 to 5%, 3% just to make it to where, okay, cool.
Right, but 10% on top of your federal, on top of your
okay. So I'm raising my hand and saying, almost 10. Ooh.
But no one's going to feel sorry for him. I mean, that's the problem. No one's going to feel sorry.
I know.
Well, I don't know if this will make you feel better.
Okay.
In this latest proposal that the governor says he will sign, 5% of that revenue will go to the Fair Start for Kids account, which can only be used for childcare and early learning. That's good, right? Or are you skeptical?
No. Yes.
Yes, you're like, that's what they say.
Okay.
Right.
So can I just say why I'm skeptical?
Yes.
I think one of the biggest reasons why the legalization of marijuana happened in the state of Washington, because a lot of people were like, oh, yeah, awesome. That'd be tax revenue. That should help us out, right? Oh, you got the Washington lottery. You got income or taxes coming from the marijuana. Oh, my goodness. There's a lot of people that like to smoke some weed. We should be fine.
And then it never seems to be enough.
So, again, I can still relate, and we've been talking about it all week. A lot of us don't trust where the money. So you might have all this income, and it's still not enough. It reminds me of Smokey when he was talking to Big Perm. You know what I'm saying? You got to make it enough.
Smokey with a perm? What?
Smokey and Big Perm on Friday. But go ahead.
I was thinking about Smokey the Bear, and I got really concerned. All right, new this morning, the Labor Department has released its latest jobs report. The numbers are bleak. New York Times took a look at them. Employers across the country cut 92,000 jobs in February, making the unemployment rate stand at 4.4%. Job losses are for nearly all major sectors, but one that stands out, healthcare. Healthcare employment fell by 19,000 jobs in February, dragged down by a nurses' strike in California that kept people out of work, about 31,000. But that wasn't all. We've had clinics close here. Let's just keep that in mind. We have had healthcare clinics around here closed, not able to function. Employers have been cutting jobs on a downward trend, and over the last 3 months, job growth has essentially slowed to zero. And as for jobs available, data from December shows that it's fallen to its lowest level since September of 2020. Meaning as people lose work, the option to get a new job is low. Wow.
Have you guys ever broken up with somebody in a relationship? And then when you broke up with them, you got in a situation, and then maybe you got in a new relationship, and in the new relationship, you just like, man, I didn't realize, actually, that last relationship that I didn't think was great actually wasn't that bad.
You don't know what you got till it's gone, baby.
You know what I mean? And that's what we're talking about. Like, let's go back to September, October of 2024. It was when it was campaign time. When it was Kamala and Donald Trump during that time. Think about what how we were talking. A lot of people were like, hey, this economy, there were some people saying, working, not the rich folks, but the working class, like, hey, they're struggling. One of the reasons why it's hard to pay bills and gas and all those things. Here we are right now in March of 2026, and I almost say, we probably missed those discussions that we were having in October of 2024 compared to now, because the biggest difference is you still can't buy those groceries. You still can't afford that gas. And, oh, by the way, you better hope you keep on to that job because the job market is not great.
And didn't he say when he was running that I'm going to lower prices in the
Day
first?
one.
So, yeah, it was all. I mean, we know that people make promises as politicians. It's just that this was one of those elections where people said, okay, I'm going to ignore all these things that are awful about him because the economy, we need some relief. And so they were convinced that he would deliver on that promise, because typically he does what he says he's going to do. I mean, in terms of all the things he does it. So this was one that it wasn't so simple.
As for, and I want to ask all of you, when you guys, you're continuing to hear these job reports, you're hearing right now that data from December shows that it has fallen to its lowest level since September of 2020.
Pandemic, heart of pandemic.
So I'm going to tell you this.
Mm-hmm.
I have changed a lot because of the last, I would say, 4 to 5 months. Is in seeing the job reports, seeing people text us and tell us that the job market is really tough, seeing and hearing stories about that. Because, look, I can be let go, right? And because of that, I am thinking about, okay, if I were to be let go, what am I going to do next? So I have been seriously changing the way I do things in preparation just in case. That's how serious that I really take these job reports that we talk about. That's how we hear about in the tech world, all of the amazing people that have lost their jobs or been laid off and everything. They're trying to move. And will these tech jobs come back? I'm nervous of that too.
Yeah, and we had someone text us. I won't say your name just in case you want to keep it private, but he said, I'm in healthcare and my employer has cut close to 600 positions since the end of October, both administration, clinical, and leadership. Yep.
That's what I'm saying. Like, and just so we're clear, it doesn't matter who's in office during that time or different. Like, there's going to come a point that I think all of us, and by the way, I'm Democrat, Republican, whatever about that, man. Like, I literally don't live my life based on that affiliation, the party, and all that. Because when you are struggling financially and you're trying to get jobs and everything,
I don't care about your party.
Don't care about the party.
I don't.
I care about that. You care about that job. You care about that paycheck. And I think what we're going to see coming up pretty soon, we're going to start to see less and less about, man, we don't care about this party stuff. We care about what are results, because people vote with their pockets anyways.
100%.
That's how you vote.
Yeah. No, that's what happened. Okay, so in our final few moments, I just want to circle back to the conversation we had earlier because I feel like we didn't get a chance to finish it. Okay. It was this great question about, will a relationship last if the friends aren't bought into it? That was one piece of the question.
Yeah.
Some saying it's shady not to involve the partner with your friends,
I went downstairs, and I don't know if you guys noticed. If you follow me on social media, on Instagram, I always go downstairs and I check in with my Gen Z downstairs. That's T-Money and Patrick. And so every day I record them and have a question. And I actually took this question down to T-Money.
Okay.
That's Trevor, y'all. He actually had an incredible answer.
Ooh.
And his answer was, well, it just depends on how close you are with your family. And you know what? That's kind of what you were saying, because for you, it's subjective. Like, it was important to you to kind of get the sign off for Vic, maybe with your family, right? And I'm sure.
And Vic did the same. There were friends that he's had who were really close, and I was taken to some dinners with the friends.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm telling you that my wife right now, there was no sign off on my sister or anybody like that. The only person that would have been a sign off, and my dad wasn't around when I met her, and I'm quite sure if my dad, okay, my dad is old school now. Okay, so I'm gonna say something, but my dad's a sucker for a good meal. If somebody can cook.
That's a good person, G.
That's a good person right there.
They're married.
I mean, seriously.
Paid off with the meal.
There used to be a saying that a key to a man's heart is through his stomach. That used to be a saying. That was my dad.
That is funny.
And by the way, that's what hooked me.
Well, let me ask you this.
Yeah.
So you're in a healthy place, or I know, just knowing you're always trying to better yourself, getting in a healthy place.
Yeah.
So, you talk about your children, you have a good relationship. Do you feel like if they brought someone to you, you would give them a thoughtful take? And it's not about a sign off, but more feedback like, this person I think could be great for you, or hey, watch out for this?
You know what? Thank you for bringing that up, because I can tell you real-time situations. My daughter, her first relationship that she had, he's phenomenal. And I knew that right away. I just knew. But it's my daughter, they didn't want him. And then the second relationship that she got in, I knew right away. No. He proved me right. My oldest son, who he's getting ready to marry in June, right away when I met her 5-6 years ago, I was like, oh yeah. So, but my point is, and parents out there, if you have a child that's in a relationship that you don't like, here's my opinion. Don't tell them that. You got to let them find out on their own.
No, but
it doesn't work.
If you tell them that, they're going to want to be with them more, because it's the nature of rebellion,
It will backfire on you. It backfires.
So keep my mouth shut.
Has it ever worked with you?
You know what?
Well, your mom, did they say, I don't think that...
It didn't.
It
now that I think
work.
about it,
Kids
didn't.
naturally want to go against what their parents say.
But you know what? When I'm sitting alone, though, their thoughts do echo in my head. Like, I just want to feel like when you see your kid with someone really bad, you want to be able to save them.
You can't. You can't. Hey, text in right now for y'all that got experience. What do you think? All right, coming up next, agree to disagree. Gee Ursula.
This hour is brought to you by DUI Heroes. The John Curley Show.
When people sit there and they see people with the American flag and they're utterly disgusted because they associate the flag and USA with Donald Trump, don't do that. You're doing yourself an amazing disservice.
Weekdays 3 to 7.
You could dislike Donald Trump, but you can still love America. It's like discounting Photograph from Nickelback, which is actually a pretty good song. Think of the fact that you love this country, and what you love about it is it's inclusive. Good. Include others.
Watch The John Curley Show live on YouTube.
Cashback is not available on gas in New Jersey and Wisconsin.
Couponing. Wow, you didn't strike me as the coupon type.
Just trying to stay ahead of inflation. Gas, groceries, everything. It's all more expensive. I need to save wherever I can.
Have you tried Upside yet?
Upside? What's that?
It's a free app that I use that pays cash back for every gallon of gas I buy. You've got to buy gas to get around anyway. Might as well get paid for it.
Come on, does that really add up to anything?
I've already made around $200. The extra cash helped pay down my bills, and I even had a little extra left to treat myself.
And the Upside app is free?
Totally free, and the cash back is real. You can transfer the cash right to your bank account.
I'm downloading Upside right now.
Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code BOOST to get an extra 25 cents per gallon on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank, to PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code BOOST for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code BOOST for a 25 cents per gallon bonus.
Where you buy your vehicle matters. At Subaru Puyallup, it's about safety for every drive, confidence in every season, and a buying experience that is stress-free. It starts with friendly experts who listen and continues with stress-free pricing, an easy process, and a genuine care that lasts the life of your Subaru. During the Subaru A Lot to Love event through March 31st, enjoy extra savings. Subaru of Puyallup, part of the Harnish Auto family. Visit SubaruofPuyallup.com, your stress-free dealership.
Thanks for calling CM Heating.
Aren't you the company that gives away free furnaces?
That's us. Buy a qualifying high-efficiency cooling system and the furnace is free.
Wow.
Yeah, and our home comfort advisors are tax credit and rebate specialists, so they'll handle the rebate for you.
Go to CM Heating for better comfort, lower bills, and a free furnace you'll love for years. Get your free estimate for furnace replacement at cmheating.com. And remember, for furnaces, fireplaces, hot water, and total home comfort, including electrical,
there's no beating CM Heating.
Don't wait. Insulate. Last year, American Crawl Space and Pest Services gave over $2 million in insulation rebates from PSE, more than any provider in the state. If your home was built before 1990, you're eligible for recouping up to 95% of insulation replacement costs. Insulate with American Crawl Space and keep your home warm during the winter and cool during the summer.
American Crawl, the heroes you call.
Tune in to Elevate Your Wealth. If you're 5 to 10 years from retirement, you do not have the time to deal with a market downturn.
With Mark Stimson and Casey Elkins.
It's important that you know what the rules are, because if you don't, you can make some tremendous decisions that could adversely affect you, and you may not be able to go back and fix them.
Tune in to Elevate Your Wealth, Saturdays at 11 a.m., right here on KIRO Newsradio 97.3 FM.
Xfinity Tech Support, Matthew speaking.
Hi, I live in a pretty remote place, like Jurassic Park remote. No!
Wow.
Will Xfinity Mobile work out here?
Yep, the combination of reliable Wi-Fi and 5G makes it so that you can stay connected in all kinds of places. Plus, you get access to ultra-fast speeds and coverage, whether you're poolside or out live streaming with a T-Rex.
Hold still, you're about to go viral.
Welcome to a new era of Wi-Fi boosted mobile. Cut your mobile bill in half with 2 lines of unlimited. Discover a new era of Wi-Fi boosted mobile at xfinitymobile.com. Xfinity. Imagine that. Watch Jurassic Park with Xfinity. Savings comparison based on promotional rate for 2 lines of Xfinity Mobile Unlimited versus 2 lines of T-Mobile Experience More, Verizon Unlimited Plus, and AT&T Starter as of February 10th, 2026.
Eric Johnson here. I spent the past 30 years working to help make our community better informed, better protected when it comes to consumer issues, and better equipped to take on whatever life throws at us. That's why I love the free Washington Accident book series from Davis Law Group. These books keep us better informed about the law, better able to protect ourselves on and off the road, and better off when all is said and done after an accident. Chris Davis didn't have to write these books. He did it because he saw a need. People who were in accidents or other legal situations didn't know what to do, what pictures to take, documents to request. Only a tiny fraction of the people who get these free books will ever become clients of Davis Law Group, but that's not the point. Chris wrote them because it was the right thing to do. The free Washington Accident book series is a must-have for drivers who want to be prepared for whatever the road might throw at them. Get yours at WashingtonAccidentBooks.com.
Guys, your testosterone level impacts your energy, drive, weight, hair loss, and even ED. Revive Men's Health Seattle will check your T level for free. For your free T level check, exam, and consultation, call 206-529-1111 or visit revivemenshealth.com.
KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM, Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good morning, I'm Jillian Raftery. The U.S. is calling for the unconditional surrender of Iran, and President Donald Trump says he wants to be involved in picking the next leader. Meanwhile, CBS Pentagon reporter Eleanor Watson says Russia is providing intelligence on U.S. positions.
Multiple sources tell CBS News that Russia is providing Iran with information about U.S. positions in the region. A partnership between Iran and Russia is not necessarily new. We saw Iran provide hundreds of Shahed drones, the type of drones it makes, to Russia for Russia to use in Ukraine. But so far in this war, this is the first involvement of some sort of Russian information, and that brings in another party into this war that does threaten to expand.
Tears and laughter in Chicago as a room full of activists, pastors, and even former presidents honor the late Reverend Jesse Jackson Sr.
The House of Hope on Chicago's South Side is rocking with the emotion of those recalling the heart, commitment, and power of Reverend Jesse Jackson Sr. Rabbi Stephen Jacobs told the massive crowd,
God will welcome him with this greeting. Oh my God, you're Jesse Jackson.
And then would say, you are somebody. One of Jackson's signature phrases that inspires people to this day. Allison Keyes, CBS News.
Washington's congressional delegation is celebrating the firing of Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem. Here's Democrat Senator Patty Murray.
All I can tell you from my perspective is no one will miss her. But we do need a Department of Homeland Security that respects the rights of Americans.
Senator Maria Cantwell said Noem ran the department with unpardonable disregard for civil liberties. Republican Dan Newhouse wrote, quote, a change in leadership at the Department of Homeland Security was long overdue. Seattle's Fifth Avenue Theater Company is eliminating about 14 staff positions, according to the Seattle Times. The total number of workers will go from 55 to 41. The theater company is the primary producer of Broadway-scale musicals in Seattle. Now we're going to check on your drive, KIRO News Radio real-time traffic, and we are looking pretty good still. Nothing blocking that I can see. Lake bridges look good. I-5 southbound, still a little bit of a snag getting through the Ship Canal area, but it's almost a speed limit drive in both directions there. A little bit of slowing on the S-curves on 405 in Renton. Not sure what that is, but I don't see anything blocking, just costing you a few extra minutes. This report brought to you by the Emerald Queen Casino. Get ready for a night of hard-hitting MMA excitement with WFC 190, April 25th at Emerald Queen Casino. Emerald Queen Casino, the entertainment capital of the Northwest. Staying rainy with a high of just 51 degrees today. 49 degrees right now in downtown Seattle. I'm Jillian Raftery with KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
It is the Gee Ursula Show. Happy Fresh Fridays to all of you. It's time to get to it. Agree to disagree. Brought to you by Garden Roofing and Gutters.
One of these days, we just got to take off the gloves. Just really go at it.
Okay. So we wrapped up the last segment with kind of this conclusion. Family probably shouldn't weigh into relationships, and friends tend to have a larger influence. So I wanted to ask you this. How much do you think parenting style affects these dynamics? It's the age-old question in parenting research. Should I be a friend to my kid? Research has shown that oftentimes parents can contribute to problems with their kids when they try to be buddies, but other psychologists say there can be a benefit to treating a child like a peer, especially in young adulthood, as it makes them more open to be upfront and honest about things like relationship problems. So my question is, as kids get older, how much do you think a parent should really be a friend?
As they get older, for sure, that's going to be the connection, because you're not the driver in their life anymore. You're now the passenger. But when they're growing up, you are the driver. You are the everything until they get to the point where they can walk and handle things themselves. So I think the problem is some folks want to be friends way too early with their kids, and you wonder why that the next time that they understand accountability isn't from a parent, but they go learn accountability. If it's not from you, they're going to learn it from somewhere else. So I would say now, as I have older kids, friend is, you're still a parent, but friend's an important thing.
What age, typically, in general, does it transition?
That's a great question. So in the early 20s, I think kids, I was a kid too in my early 20s, I think when you're in your early 20s, they know everything. They don't need parents then. They know it. They got all the answers to everything. Then after life hits them a little bit, so I would say about 24, 25, they start realizing like, oh, okay, it's real out here. Oh, you know what the age is? The age that they off your insurance.
I know, because I see people doing it really early, like 16, 17. Here's my only challenge with that, because people will say to me, well, they're going to be leaving you soon, so they're going to have to learn how to be an adult. I'm like, yeah, let them learn outside of my house, because I'm fighting for my life in these streets. And what I mean by that is I have to fight over the technology. And I've had people tell me, well, they need to know how to regulate it. Their brains are not ready to regulate it. They are not ready. So I'm having to fight, like, bring your computer out. Why do you have your phone next to your head on the nightstand? Otherwise, they will sit in there in brain rot or bed rot. Is that what you call it? Bed rot? So, yes, I do believe kids have to learn to regulate, but I don't think at 17 years old they're ready. So as long as they're in my house, I'm going to do everything I can to not just be like, as a friend, I just want to tell you it's not good for you and da-da-da, because they are not ready. Most of them. Sophia? Oh, she's like,
no.
No.
I don't need to move on. I just felt kind of like I needed to put a little boop on that.
Okay, let's do it.
My perspective on this is it's interesting to hear that, because I do think in a lot of ways you don't listen to your parents as much, and you do have to kind of learn as you go. my relationship with my mom specifically, she's always been very real with me. But I will say, I feel like as I've gotten older, I think our dynamic, I'm able to like listen to what she says in a different way than I did when I was younger, for sure.
There is, as your kids get older, and watch, Angela, you're gonna see this. As your kids get older, they don't come out and they don't just say to you, you know what, I'm starting to really understand now. You know, some of the things that you said back then, it's more clear to me now. No. They won't say that, but you will hear them talk and say things that makes you realize, oh, they heard it. Like sometimes when I hear my sons, when I hear him speak and he says things to me and things like, yeah, like he gets it. Like when especially when it comes to being on time and prompt, like that's one of his biggest pet peeves with people is if they're late.
Yeah, and I know someone in front of me who has that.
He said it bothers him so much. And I think his brain, the way he's like out there, as you guys know, he has the Turo business. You know what Turo is? The rental car thing?
Oh, yes, yeah.
He has 12 cars.
That's amazing.
But that stuff takes due diligence,
yes,
you know what I mean?
It does.
But yeah,
Absolutely.
But yeah, you'll see.
him.
Your kids are going to start telling you, you know what, Mom, you was always right.
Well, that makes me think of what you were saying, Ursula, earlier, Angela, about, like, we were talking about this during the break, but about the nature versus nurture. What things do we kind of take from our family or things that we just learned? Like, I'm curious to know whether or not that timeliness was something that your son just picked up because it was enforced in him from childhood from you, or if it was something that he innately really learned to care about.
No, it was enforced.
Enforced, okay.
It was enforced. The same way it was enforced on me.
Same way you're enforcing it with me every day. I have to call you at 7 on the dot.
Hey, in fairness, Sophia, I did not say anything about you calling at 7:02 today.
I know you. It was on the tip of your tongue because I didn't say anything. I was in my head. I was waiting for you to say something, and I didn't have a good excuse today. I didn't have a good excuse. Yesterday, I had a really silly excuse, and I was like, this is the perfect reason. Today, didn't have a great
energy
excuse.
drink. It exploded on me.
Listen, guys.
Yeah.
How am I supposed to have a good start to my day if my energy drink exploded all over me? That's all I gotta say.
All right.
Okay. Well, we can fit one more in. This is like not as fun and relationship-y or anything like this. It's kind of celebrity, pop culture-y, kind of trashy, but I wanted to ask your opinion because we haven't talked about this yet. Have you guys been hearing about the whole Jim Carrey clone debate? Have y'all followed that at all on your timeline?
No. Which Jim Carrey? The one that tried to kiss Cameron Diaz when she didn't want to? Which?
Jim Carrey,
the mask guy. Yeah,
the comedian.
You've seen The Mask?
Jim Carrey, The Mask, Truman Show. Basically, there's been a lot of speculation on social media because he went to an event and he was accepting an award, and people are saying it did not look like him. It wasn't acting like him, and they think it's a clone of the actor. And there's been a lot of recurring conspiracies about this on the internet for a lot of celebrities of people saying, not even in like they died and came to life, they just have body doubles to go in and do events. The main critique, his eyes were wide, cheeks were plumped and defined. And on the flip side, people are saying it's plastic surgery. But either way, people are real critical. And I have to ask whether you believe it's a conspiracy or not. Do you think we need to call out celebrities when they aren't looking like themselves or just accept the plastic?
Go ahead.
No, repeat the last question. I was looking at Jim Carrey's.
Should we call them out when we're like, hey, this doesn't look like a human anymore? Or should we just start accepting the plastic a little bit more?
I just think there's no need to say it. Listen, I'm looking at his photo. This looks like Jim Carrey. He just had some plastic surgery. I mean, that's the end of it. This is Hollywood. I mean, I guess they're creative and like to have stories, but there's also,
I think we need to accept the plastic the same way we accept the wrinkles. Hey, Jim Carrey, how are you? Oh, good to see you. Right? Like we don't call out like, oh, Esther, I haven't seen you like 20 years. My goodness, you look old. You wouldn't say that. The same way you wouldn't say, oh, Esther, wow, that plastic surgery you got on your face is
Yeah. Now, my grandmother would say it. Like she looked at me during the pandemic and said, ooh, you got a little fluffy.
I feel like grandparents just do that all the time.
I was going to say, that's an old relative, especially, like, at least for me, like, when you have, like, my Italian revels, anytime there's people who aren't non-American relatives to love to comment on things.
My Japanese grandma would do that all the time.
By the way, sometimes sometimes I say things. Shout out to Moondog Ace, who caught what I said. Moondog Ace says, gee, Jim Carrey is the guy who tried to kiss.
The guy. He tried to kiss the guy that?
No, he tried to kiss Cameron Diaz.
Okay.
Cameron Diaz, yeah. All right, good stuff. Text messages, feedback, and then we'll have words to live by.
KIRO News Radio, the first place you turn for the news you trust.
Seattle's new mayor is laying out a big vision.
She offered few specifics.
Engaging conversation.
Has anybody noticed their electric bill? It's diabolical, Ursula.
And your Super Bowl champion Seahawks.
They are bringing the Lombardi back to the Northwest.
Streaming everywhere on the KIRO Newsradio app. Always here, always with you. KIRO News Radio, 97.3 FM.
Jackson Hewitt knows taxes are complicated, and with multiple jobs and tax forms, they're like Sonata complicated. Our no surprise pricing keeps things simple. Jackson Hewitt does your taxes for only $149 or less. And since we know all the new tax codes, you could get thousands back. So what are you waiting for? Hurry. File with Jackson Hewitt today for only $149 or less, guaranteed. Limited time offer for new clients on federal returns. Participating locations only. Terms at jacksonhewitt.com/149.
I know that hiring can be challenging. You need someone to match your role perfectly. Well, now you can meet them fast on ZipRecruiter.
Build your team, build it sooner. Meet your match on ZipRecruiter.
Just head to ZipRecruiter.com/free right now to try it for free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Meet your match on ZipRecruiter. Try it free.
Where you buy your vehicle matters. At Subaru Puyallup, it's about safety for every drive, confidence in every season, and a buying experience that is stress-free. It starts with friendly experts who listen and continues with stress-free pricing, an easy process, and a genuine care that lasts the life of your Subaru. During the Subaru A Lot to Love event through March 31st, enjoy extra savings. Subaru of Puyallup, part of the Harnish Auto family. Visit SubaruofPuyallup.com, your stress-free dealership.
Hartley here from Wilcox Family Farms. I'm so excited to have my cousin Amelia with me today. So I saw that you visited the baby chicks.
I got to hold 7 of them. They were so cute.
Do you know why Wilcox chickens are so happy?
Because they get to play outside?
Yes.
Happy chickens are healthy chickens.
From our farm to your table, Wilcox Family Farms eggs. Locally fresh
since 1909.
Are you in pain? Have you considered surgery or even joint replacement? Hi, everybody. It's John Curley. Before you make that decision, I recommend you see Dr. Mark Wagner, MD, at Seattle Sports and Regenerative Medicine. I did, and it's been a game changer. My doctor took a look at my x-rays and said, well, looks like you need a whole new hip. And then he said, wait, how old are you? And I told him, and then he said, well, wait, you're too young for a hip. You're just going to have to, live with the pain. We'll see you in 3 years. It was horrible. Dr. Wagner is a board-certified Seattle physician with over 30 years of experience performing more than 20,000 stem cell procedures, using a person's own stem cells to regenerate cartilage in their own joints. People with severe osteoarthritis, even bone on bone, are back doing what they enjoy doing without pain and without surgery. So whether it's a hip like I had, or a shoulder, elbow, ankle, wrist, or knee, before choosing surgery, see Dr. Mark Wagner first. Go to drmarkwagnermd.com.
1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today. 1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Ready to get rid of that old car? Donate it to Cars for Kids. Call 877 Cars for Kids to speak to a friendly live agent. Donation is super easy, and your car can be picked up as soon as tomorrow. Go to carsforkids.org now or call 877 Cars for Kids to donate your car today.
1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids.
Did you know you can donate real estate too? Go to carsforkids.org. That's cars with a K.
From whiplash to herniated discs, there are a few car accident injuries we've all heard of. JP Pendergast with Pendergast Law explains that even the most common injuries differ from one another.
Pre-existing conditions, health history, beginning of treatment. There are hundreds of factors that make every person and every injury unique. While these variables aid medical treatment, the strongest case recoveries must also take them into account.
Could you explain a little bit more?
Our team at Pendergast Law is obsessed with turning over every stone to differentiate each case. This requires thorough investigation, diligent listening, and relentless research. We never pursue cases with a one-size-fits-all approach. We built our success by treating every injury and every case with the individualized attention our clients need and deserve.
Pendergast Law's individualized approach to even the most common injuries makes the difference in case outcomes. It's another reason why I can't recommend them enough.
If you or a loved one has been injured in a car accident, call Pendergast Law. We can help.
The Outwardly Appliance Clearance Center, now open in Kent, offering warehouse sale pricing year-round. Up to 70% off closeouts, scratch and dents, overstock, and floor models from all top manufacturers. The Outwardly Appliance Clearance Center in Kent. Visit outwardly.biz.
Nearly half the homes in Western Washington are not properly insulated or not insulated at all. Sound like your home? Then call for your free inspection.
InsulationNorthwest.com.
It is the Gee and Ursula Show. Good morning to you. Happy Fresh Fridays. Oh, my goodness. We're towards the end of the show. It's time to read those good old text messages. What you got for us,
Let's do
Angela?
it. We talked about AI becoming the, quote, wingman for some boys out there, teenagers. Braden and Snohomish using AI for simple questions, very similar to Googling things, isn't a big deal. Having AI rewrite something for you instead of taking the time to use your brain and do it yourself, among many other things, is very concerning. Clive in Woodinville, one of the stated strategies for my company is to make AI a part of your everyday life. It's not a matter of whether we should use it or not. We must use it. Sophia, did you want to read one or two?
Sure. Robin Kirkland said, a drawback to screening all interpersonal communication via AI is you give someone an AI-prepared response, and the receiver thinks that's how you normally reply in person. Then they're in shock when you actually don't speak so suave.
Well, I tell you this. You all know if I send you an email, a lot of you listening, you know if it sounds like me or not.
That's true.
You'll know.
Yeah, maybe the AI will learn.
I write like I talk too. That's the only way I know how to do it.
That's what I'm saying. Writing tone can sometimes come off very differently, but I feel like in the culture of texting, I feel like we've gotten to a point where people can text like they talk, and you can get people's personality.
Yes.
It's true. On the Millionaire's Tax, Paul in the 253, there will never be enough money until they can live within a budget. For now, it's just another hand in our pocket. Millionaires today, everyone else tomorrow. John in Gig Harbor. Let's see, he's going back. It remains that it's unconstitutional in this state for an income tax, and that's what this is going to be. I don't disagree that the tax code is a little upside down in the state, but let's tackle that and change the code versus punishing those that are wealthy. All right, on the relationship scenario, this person going out with their single friends. Was that the deal? Oh, yes. Yep, that was it. The partner, Mark in Edmonds, says the partner is shifty. My now wife of 16 years. After the first date, we joined my friends to a gathering and she passed the friends test. We've been together since. Family and friends. The family and friends test matters to me.
Yeah, I think it depends on the dynamic, too, of your friends and your family. Like we said, it kind of has nuance. Joey in 360 said, if couples ended up being there, then call your partner and have them come to the party. Shady.
B in Puyallup, my friends hated my ex. 7 years later, y'all the only friends I have left. All right, on the parent-child relationship dynamic, Justin in Tacoma, parent and child relationships will always be that. As kids, adults, we have to make up our own minds, which means seeing what the parents see. A lot of times that means possibly making a mistake and living with that mistake, but learning from it. Do you want to read Larry's one?
Sure. And Larry in the 206 said, children need to be self-sufficient before you can entertain a relationship change. If you contribute financially to your children, what you call a friendship is not possible.
That's a really good point. That's a really good point. It's because there is a power dynamic in that when they're dependent on you financially. That's a really good point. This was a great show. Thank you for having me on the show this week. Gee and Sophia and and Nick. It's been wonderful. And all of you listening.
All right. Well, you have a lot of pressure because right now it's time for Words to Live By.
And I always appreciate when Ursula ties the words to live by into one of the topics. So I did just that. Many believe parenting is about controlling children's behavior and training them to act like adults. I believe that parenting is about controlling my own behavior and acting like an adult myself. Children learn what they live and live what they learn. From L.R. Nost.
They learn what they live and live what they learn.
Okay, hold on. I
was good.
just went out.
Experience is the best teacher.
That was good. One thing for sure, as far as that whole, do as I say and not as I do, that sometimes we heard as kids, kids do what they see. No question about it.
That's human nature, baby.
Nick, what do you got, man?
Well, did you have a wingman that you couldn't live without, helping with your status for that crush you wanted to take out? Or perhaps you use AI or ChatGPT as your lead, doing all the work for you to get those pickup lines you need.
Tell me something good.
And maybe take G's dinner date idea with grains of salt. If it's cottage cheese with turkey and grapes frozen in your vault, it might taste all right, but not the most romantic dinner night with the meat and dairy aisles.
Oh my gosh.
All right.
You know how you have to go to the bathroom? We're on the show and I'm like, I have to go to the bathroom. And then he says something funny and I swear I almost pee my pants. That was so funny.
I don't know what it is, but you and I are on the same page because I got to use the bathroom so bad. That's too much information.
So you're making us laugh, Nick. That was amazing.
All right. Angela, you ready for a big weekend? What do you got?
Let's see. This weekend, I'm actually going to be on King 5 tomorrow morning, talking about the musical and about the event. So that's going to be fun. I got a ball this weekend for my daughter. So busy weekend. What about you?
Chilling like a cold sandwich. And I'm looking forward to Sunday. Remember, set your clocks forward.
Oh, we spring forward?
We spring forward. So that means when I wake up on Monday morning, or when you wake up, it's gonna hurt.
It's gonna be early.
It's going to hurt.
But the sun's gonna stay up.
But the sun be after 7 o'clock. Thanks, Angela. Appreciate you. Sophia, thank you. 702. Appreciate you. Nick, thanks, man.
You too, man.
Hey, the Jake and Spike Show, they're coming in next. Stick around. Appreciate you for listening. Love you for that. And as always, be kind.
Hope you had as much fun as we have. So long, everybody.
Tell me that you like it, yeah. You ain't got no kind of feeling.
The Jake and Spike Show.
I check it late at night when my wife's not looking.
Weekdays noon to 3.
My favorite thing on my phone, which is my weather app.
First thing?
Yeah, absolutely.
On KIRO Newsradio on 97.3 FM and the KIRO Newsradio app.
At Uline, they know firsthand the road to success is an uphill climb. Uline started in the family basement and through hard work is now North America's most trusted shipping and industrial supplier. They get what it means to have the support of reliable, hardworking partners. So they keep 41,000 items ready to ship. Whether your company is still in a basement office or expanding cross-country, Uline will be there on your road to success. Visit uline.com.
Ever notice how everyone has their own idea of clean?
Yeah, your clean desk still has 3 coffee cups.
Yeah, but clean energy is simple. It means no carbon emissions.
And that's what nuclear energy delivers, while providing steady, reliable electricity.
Those big white clouds above a nuclear power plant? Just water vapor, like warm breath on a cold day.
Nuclear energy provides 10% of Washington's electricity, all without adding carbon to the air.
Learn more at energy-northwest.com.
Energy Northwest, powering our clean energy future.
You know the one question that guys hate to have asked of them by their wives, Nick?
I can take a good guess.
I know you know 100 of them. This is the worst one. Do these jeans make my butt look big?
Whoa.
Can't answer that one, right? What I've noticed is whenever you ask me questions like that, I just simply say, oh, I don't know. What do the doctors at Longevity Medical Clinic say?
Well, the doctors at Longevity Medical Clinic would tell me that my butt looks great in those jeans now that my hormones are balanced.
What'd they do? Did they give you something to bring bring your weight down?
No, just a result of having my hormones balanced caused me to lose weight. Who would have known? I had no idea that would be a result of it.
So that's good. So the answer is you look great. You're beautiful.
I feel great. I look great.
Yeah.
And I know it.
I've also noticed that your testosterone makes you a little feistier than you normally are, as my beautiful Greek wife.
I might be small, but I have a loud bark.
Yes, you do. Do what Nick and I have done. Take a free health analysis at longevitymedicalclinic.com.
Thanks for calling CM Heating.
Aren't you the company that gives away free furnaces?
That's us. Buy a qualifying high-efficiency cooling system and the furnace is free.
Wow.
Yeah, and our home comfort advisors are tax credit and rebate specialists, so they'll handle the rebate for you.
Go to CM Heating for better comfort, lower bills, and a free furnace you'll love for years. Get your free estimate for furnace replacement at cmheating.com. And remember, for furnaces, fireplaces, hot water, and total home comfort, including electrical,
There's no beating CM Heating.
Staples has hot deals on everything for your business, like up to $125 off your print order. Ends 4/18, exclusions apply. Visit staples.com/print for details.
Carpal tunnel syndrome, heart failure that doesn't improve with common medicines. These are some signs and symptoms associated with ATTR-CM, or the cardiomyopathy of ATTR amyloidosis, a serious heart condition with symptoms that get worse over time. Amvuttra, vutrisiran, is a prescription medicine given by a healthcare provider that treats ATTR-CM in adults to reduce heart-related death, hospital stays, and urgent visits. In a clinical study, Amvuttra was proven to help people live longer and have fewer heart-related hospital stays and urgent visits over 3 years compared to placebo. Amvuttra lowers the amount of vitamin A in your blood, which can affect vision. Other side effects include pain in the arms or legs, pain in the joints, and shortness of breath. These are not all the possible side effects of Amvuttra. For prescribing information, call 1-833-256-2748 or learn more at amvuttra.com. Ask your doctor about Amvuttra for ATTR-CM.
Your best source for local news. KIRO News Radio. KIRO FM and HD1, Tacoma, Seattle.